Hold on a second.
Yep.
It says you're streaming on your OBS, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see you.
Am I on YouTube? Okay, now it's starting. Now it's about to start.
Yeah.
Hold on. And are we live now? Now are we live? We had some hiccups here. Oh, God, they got to see all those funny faces I was making. I had a feeling. What is... All right, I guess we're live. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I think you're live, so you're good.
Okay, cool.
That's all right, though. It's good for them to see the hiccups, bro. It just makes you more personal. So.
All right.
Good.
Later, bro.
All right, later.
Okay, chat. I thought I was live for about 5 minutes before we officially were live, so I had an awkward intro where I was singing some of the lyrics from Dilated Peoples, the Fight Night Round 3 soundtrack, where we're back again, for the very fourth time. Don't worry if I write checks, I write rhymes. Anyways, FightHype Live from the high-tech studios here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I didn't know that we were live, and just in case we were, as we were fixing out some kinks, I thought I'd make some funny faces. So here we go. What's up, Bronco Kid? What is up, Bronco Kid, in the chat? Guys, I woke up. Actually, I went to bed very excited because I knew that Ortiz and Stanionis, stylistically, styles make fights, were set to give us a head-on collision. And I went back and watched Stanionis' fight with Butayev on the on the undercard of Spence and Ugas last year, and just really realized, because I always picked Vergil Ortiz to win, and we'll get to Vergil Ortiz in a second. He won't be fighting, as the news was announced this morning that Vergil Ortiz, for the third time, for the first time it was Stanionis, but for the second time in a row, he'll have to pull out due to his rare affliction, it would appear, of rhabdomyolysis. And forgive me for the pronunciation there, but rhabdomyolysis. So Ortiz versus Stanionis is officially off, unfortunately, but I was so looking forward to the fight, rewatching Ortiz against Kaviaskis and rewatching Stanionis against Butayev, and noticing what a head-on collision stylistically we were in store for, and then appreciating, even though I was still picking Ortiz to win, appreciating just how sharp Eimantas Stanionis is. Extremely sharp. Every punch is so well thrown. He's got good hand speed, solid power in both hands, and everything just comes out so sharp, right down the pipe, everything thrown beautifully. But Paulie Malignaggi used to talk about how you got to change the speeds on your punches and give some different looks. And for Stanionis, his pattern, it's always everything's sharp, and he's got fast hands too, and made a rock, a compact, strong welterweight at 5'8", but doesn't change the speed on his punches, doesn't dominate behind the jab, looks to walk in sometimes, and always with the high guard, never drops the lead hand, never gives different looks. For the most part, he's right here and extremely sharp with everything he throws. But it all comes at one speed, and I don't know if he's a fighter that could fight going backwards. He seems to only want to fight going forward. Butayev, when he pushed him back at moments, did hurt him to the body and have some success, especially when he was switched southpaw. But I got to learn to be better hydrated before we start these things. But I still think Vergil was going to win, but maybe not. I mean, if Vergil would have went ahead with the fight and came in a little weakened, Stanionis might have won that fight. But I did think Vergil's superior jab, length, size, and punching a little harder and being a little bit better of a combination puncher is why I was going to favor Vergil. Those reasons I just stated. Stanionis throws some combinations, but he's mostly a 2 or 3 punch combination puncher. Put 2 together, maybe 3 to the body, to the head. But Vergil, when he gets going and when as the fights go on, he can put together several punches in combination and with power. And Stanionis, chin tucked well, hands up like this. I think at some point Vergil was going to hurt him on the top of the head with a hook in combination as they were exchanging. I had a whole breakdown ready to go for the fight, but it turns out to be for not, because Ortiz's body is betraying him. Here's an official article by my man Kevin Ioli, Yahoo Sports. Vergil Ortiz pulling out of bouts for a third time, even though I think it's the third time their fight's been postponed, but I don't know if it's fair to say he's pulled out a third time. I think he's pulled out the last two, and it was Stanionis the first time. But so just to read a little something from here. Nothing from Oscar or from Golden Boy Promotions. Nothing's more important than the safety of our fighters, and we of course support Vergil Ortiz's decision 100%. This unfortunate event does, however, open the door from one of Golden Boy's top prospects, Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin. By the way, if you haven't seen Kid Austin fight, great athletic talent, not yet I think he's about 19 years old, not yet fundamentally sound, very much relying on his creativity and athleticism right now. And some fighters like Roy Jones, they don't need, even Roy had better fundamentals than people let on. That's why Roy had a good jab whenever he wanted to use it. It's just that he wasn't worried about jabbing your head off. He was just trying to range find and hurt you with the right hand and the hook. But anyways, Schofield, I think that's a smart call by Golden Boy to put Kid Austin. Look, Jojo Diaz has probably peaked already in his career. He'll probably, and I like Jojo ever since he came out of the Olympics in 2012, but he'll probably never be world champion again. He's too small fighting at the weights he's fighting at. So he'll probably always remain just the former IBF 130-pound champ when he beats Heaven Farmer. So Golden Boy, you got to move on with the best upside and market the best upside you have on your roster, and that would be Kid Austin on this card. So good call there. And look forward to showcasing our fights on San Antonio and DAZN. But Ortiz, who has battled COVID-19 and rhabdomyolysis in the last 3 years, has had to delay other fights since 2020 because of his health. He called. So Shelly Finkel said he called me and said Ortiz that fainted last night and was taken to the hospital, and we're waiting on the doctors to know if there's a fight. It's horrible for the kid Ortiz. I feel so badly for Eimantas Stanionis. Forgive me, Eimantas. But what can you do? We'll try to move forward. I don't know if there's another option to take and then fight that bout against the Crawford-Spence winner. I am preserving all of Eimantas' rights. I'm going to have our lawyer, whom I already spoke to, send a letter to the WBA pointing out that this is not our fault. They agreed and felt bad for Eimantas. He's won a title and hasn't been able to defend it. So let me get to a super chat here. What's up, everybody in the chat? I know we're a little slow this morning. What's up, Bronco Kid? What's up, Fire in My Bones? What's up, Gustavo Fontalba? Jim the Boxing Life, Dungeon, Josh Cabrera, just donating that super chat, wanting to put his primo, I think it is, putting his man Giovanni Cabrera, getting him a shout out. Giovanni Cabrera, co-main event, big opportunity, T-Mobile Center, fighting on the co-main event of Crawford and Spence, July 29th, taking on Isaac Cruz. And Team Cabrera is in the chat, always putting in super chats, just trying to put everyone on notice that Giovanni Cabrera is going to upset Isaac Cruz. 21-0, 7 knockouts. Giovanni Cabrera got some height and some reach, and on paper looks like a good boxer. So we'll see if he could beat Isaac Cruz. But shout out to my man Joshua Cabrera, always supporting his little brother. Oh, it's your brother. Well, I'll be seeing you fight week, Josh. We'll get to meet fight week. I'm sure you'll be in your brother's team and camp that fight week. So look forward to meeting you, Josh. And you won't have to spend $5 to tell me your thoughts. It'll save you some money once we meet on fight week, brother. And good luck to your brother too. Good to have you in the chat always, man. So Jim the Boxing Life, thank you for the super chat. Jim the Boxing Life saying Vergil will need to take a year or two off without working super hard in the gym to let his body rest and recover and then come back at 154 pounds. Well, thank you for the super chat, Jim the Boxing Life. And that seems to be, there's a few people on Twitter, guy by the name of Deuce, that if you're in boxing Twitter, a lot of people know who he is. Deuce, Javon, and a couple of crew of guys that don't cover boxing but observe it and seem to think with very business-oriented minds, where people like me, we always consider the business. You'd be a fool not to, but focus more on the in-the-ring stuff. And guys like that and some others on Twitter are able to more point out some of the business side that we could lose sight of. And anyways, not so much that this had to do with the business, but he kind of foresaw a third cancellation back in March. And so I only bring him up because it seems everybody who prognosticated, while other people like me, excited with the style matchup, excited at what a great fight will inevitably get to once they do make it to the ring, because certainly they're not going to, a third time's the charm. They're not going to postpone it a third time. And what all those people said is that all the people who were smart enough to realize this would happen again, they've all said what you said, Jim Boxing Life, which is Vergil's seriously going to have to reconsider his career and come back at 154 pounds. That's what everyone who was sharp enough to see this coming a third time and didn't get ahead of themselves, like myself included, who just wanted to get to the fight, who just wanted to get the stuff in the ring. They saw this coming, and so I'll go off what they're saying, because they were the ones smart enough to see this coming, and they're all saying that Vergil's going to need to take time off, just like you said, Jim, and come back at 154 pounds. I mean, clearly 147, his body is betraying him and just won't let him do it, which is a shame because, you know, Vergil Ortiz, having great fighters from any background is always important in boxing, but having great Mexican fighters is something we've been accustomed to since the 1980s. And with Canelo beginning to age, there's no sure thing on the horizon that can move pay-per-views in the Mexican market. I know Ryan Garcia just did crazy numbers with Tank, but he's not yet proven to be a good enough fighter, a great enough fighter to hold down the fort for several pay-per-views for years to come. And we don't know if Vergil Ortiz was going to be that guy. David Benavidez, half Ecuadorian, half Mexican, born in America. He's working on that right now. He's the one who's the closest there. But Vergil Ortiz, undefeated, not even 25 yet, has literally knocked out every opponent he's fought. Come forward style, but not come forward predictable. It's a predictable style. Hands up, high guard, with a little bit of movement to his waist. But at 5'10", and with knockout power and combinations and a jab to close distance, a great double jab too when he doubles it up, Ortiz had the ingredients to be a Mexican star and move pay-per-views in that market. And after he knocked out Kaviaskis, I loved where he was headed, and now his body is just betraying him. And it's not good for boxing. You know, Vergil Ortiz is one of the young guys we kind of need to pan out to carry the torch forward for the next crop of stars in boxing. And it hasn't been going well for a year, ever since he knocked out Kaviaskis. So, you know, I hope things get better for him. But as we give a lot of sympathy to Vergil, I feel bad for Eimantas Stanionis. The man crossed the street, crossed networks, wanted some smoke, and he can't get it. You know, he can't get it. He waited 2 or 3 times. Well, the first time was on him, and then the next 2 times on Vergil. But Stanionis has done all the right things. He's went after the young knockout artist that most guys wouldn't want to fight. He was going to come right to him and fight him mano-a-mano. He crossed networks from Showtime to DAZN to make it happen. And, you know, Stanionis is a guy who talked about needing to fight more, who talked about how much he hates waiting on the sideline. This is a young, hungry kid from Lithuania who hasn't fought since April of last year. So it sucks for Stanionis, man. I got a couple people I got to get to in the chat. Boxing analyst saying, Sean, is Dillian White shot to bits? Yeah, I mean, not shot to bits. The shot to bits is when you're just done. That's when, you know, Kevin McBride could come in and beat Mike Tyson. Shot to bits is shot to bits. But he's not shot to bits. Still a tough veteran, but he's seen better days. And he just doesn't keep himself in good shape, Dillian White. He's still got a dangerous left hook, but he doesn't keep himself in the best shape. He's not getting any younger. His stamina isn't very good. He gets tired kind of quickly now, halfway through fights. He could fight when he's tired based off experience and grit. But Joshua isn't a sure thing these days with anybody. But I think Joshua should beat Dillian White again. I think I saw a video with Derek James recently. Maybe I could find it right here, but I saw a video with Derek James recently, working with Ryan Garcia. And let me see it here. Let me see it here. So I saw this recently from Derek James, Ryan Garcia. And just that alone, speaking of, like, that's going to do wonders for Ryan, because Ryan, being so tall and being so fast, doesn't have a great jab, doesn't even use it much. He usually starts his fights, like against Tego, against Fortuna, even against Tank. He'll let that jab out there and then quickly abandon it. But anyways, I bring up Derek James to say, with Joshua, that what you see here is something James had doing with Joshua well in the Jermaine Franklin fight, which is just better lead hand control, better consistency and lead hand positioning, something Errol Spence is great at. And I think that Derek James has got Joshua fighting well enough off the Jermaine Franklin fight, and Dillian White has not looked good in a number of fights. Really, he hasn't looked good since knocking out Povetkin. So I expect Joshua to beat him. Maybe I got to get a little less long-winded with some of these answers, but Ryan did that for 20 seconds and then went home, Derek Choice. Well, if he does that, that's on him, but literally just working on his lead hand control and establishing his jab more is going to do so much for him with Derek James. If Ryan listens and gives it 110%, doesn't show up to the gym late like he did with Eddie Reynoso, and gives it his all, just Derek James giving Ryan Garcia use of his jab and of his height, and just staying fundamentally sound with a high guard, and not giving up his height, not going crazy looking for combinations, like that's what eventually got him caught by Tank in the second round, but forcing guys to pay a price to get inside, to get to mid to close range, and walk them into the straight, because he's got a good right hand too. Derek James is actually a good fit for Ryan Garcia, because Derek James is one of the best at teaching you the fundamentals, and I don't think Ryan Garcia has it in his bag to become a super flexible upper body movement, half step back, lead hand down, walk you into a shot. I don't think he's got all that sauce. I think he's best off fighting fundamentally sound, like a Derek James will school you, and then just making the most out of his hand speed and his power with the basics. But no, I think got a little off track here, but yeah, I think that Joshua will take care of Dillian White alongside Derek James. So yeah, man, this rhabdomyolysis, less than 200,000 people have it. I don't know why this keeps happening to Vergil. It sucks. He's a guy I've been high on. I do believe in his talent and his future, but man, if this keeps happening to him, he can't fight, let alone become a great fighter in today's sport. So let me switch gears here for a second as we're talking about, because I was getting excited. The whole point of today's live was supposed to be us breaking down Boots and Vergil and hopefully their inevitable fight to as we get welterweight supremacy settled at the end of the month. We were going to take a look at the beginning of the month with Boots and Ortiz and look at the future of the division and kind of begin the countdown to these two guys having their Spence Crawford type of meeting to decide who's the best welterweight. But now it just turns into the Jaron Boots Ennis, and this is the fight this Saturday. And Villa, let me look up the odds because they're very wide, but Villa is a huge underdog, deservedly so, against Jaron Ennis, because Jaron Ennis, in terms of talent, raw physical talent, I think Boots Ennis is the most talented fighter in boxing right now. So Jaron Ennis minus 500 plus 2,000. So for Villa, plus 1,000 for Villa by knockout. So if you bet $100, you can win $1,000 on Roiman Villa. Not a terrible bet. And I know people are looking at it like it could be a mismatch, but man, this cat right here, Roiman Villa, I know Rashidi Ellis is speedy Rashidi Ellis. He's known for his speed, not his punching power. But man, Rashidi Ellis ain't Paulie Malignaggi. Like, he's not feather-fisted. Those punches are so fast and sharp that I know they sting. I know they hurt. And he boxed a beautiful fight for plenty of rounds against Roiman Villa and hit him with everything and Villa never stopped coming. Villa showed a chin. Now, if he gets hit with the same volume of punches he got hit by Rashidi Ellis, he'll probably be laying on the canvas at some point because of how heavy-handed and how much explosiveness Jaron Ennis has in his punching power. Although Rashidi Ellis is just as fast as Jaron Ennis. So Villa coming into this fight is adjusted to the hand speed, having just fought Ellis. But Roiman Villa, man, going back and rewatching that fight last night, he impressed me. And we'll take a look at an interview I did with him where he talks about how much he was inspired by Marcos El Chino Maidana. And he's got a little Marcos Maidana in him. I mean, even look at his physical profile. He's all tatted up like Maidana was. And when you see him in the ring, his balance and stance isn't too dissimilar from Maidana. He's not a fast guy, but when those punches come out, you want to get the fuck out of the way of him. He could really crack 24 knockouts and 26 wins. A legit puncher, 30 years old, in his prime at 30 years old. And having beaten Rashidi Ellis, I know he's coming into this fight more confident than ever. Now, again, I got Jaron Ennis by stoppage Saturday night because I think he's the most electrifying talent in boxing. There's a bunch of fighters much more proven than him, have better resumes. The man's never even won a world title yet, although this is for the interim IBF. But in terms of talent, Ennis, I think, is number one right now in terms of just gifts, physical talent. But Ennis does do something, and I got a super chat to get to from Jim Boxing Life. I'll get right to it, Jim. Thank you, brother. But Ennis, for all his talent, sometimes leaves his chin exposed. Against Thomas Delorme after he dropped him, and then he switched. I think he switched southpaw, got ready to get him out of there. But while he was getting ready to get Delorme out of there, that chin left in the air, not tucked, and it got caught good with a right hand by Delorme. Lipinets caught him with a few shots. A couple of guys have caught Jaron Ennis, who shows all the defensive talent and all the defensive maneuvers. Can step back, make you miss, hit nothing but has the reflexes, has the moves. But every now and then, that chin isn't on his chest. That chin doesn't have the tennis ball being held underneath it, as Bernard Hopkins would say, fellow Philadelphia great. Sometimes that chin's up, even while he is making all the right moves, and even while his reflexes are getting his head out of range, but the chin's still up. And all he needs against Roiman Villa is one inopportune moment like that, and we have a fight, and we have drama. Because if Villa lunges in and catches him with a left hook with that chin up, I think Ennis's legs will react. I think we'll see Ennis hurt. And we have drama at that point. I think Ennis could pull through a scenario like that and still win the fight by knockout. I really believe in his arsenal and in his talent and in his power. But I won't be surprised if Villa gives us a little bit of drama, because he only needs Ennis to make one mistake, and at least for a few rounds, at least for 4 or 5 or 6 rounds, Villa's going to be tough enough to take the power and walk through it and still keep throwing. Now, into the second half of the fight, into the championship rounds, I don't expect Villa, no matter how tough he is, and even if he does have a good chin, to be able to hold up to the kind of firepower Ennis will be dishing out Saturday night. But you look at this tail of the tape, it's already misleading. This could be a little bit of a microcosm, a little bit of foreshadowing heading into the fight. You look at the tail of the tape, Ennis is 5'10", this guy's only 5'7", but the tail of the tape lies sometimes, my friends. The tail of the tape can lie sometimes. One moment, let me get some audio here.
2 guys with knockout.
Does that look like 5'7" versus 5'10", chat? And chat, does Roiman Villa not give you just a little bit of Marcos Maidana vibes? That looks like a Marcos Maidana suit. That looks like the kind of sunglasses Marcos Maidana would be wearing. That looks like the shape of Marcos Maidana's jawline even. And I think he may have even borrowed some of those tattoos on the neck from Marcos Maidana.
Power. Jaron Boots Ennis, 30-0.
But chat, unless the man is wearing stilettos, it doesn't look like 5'7" versus 5'10". And they're both knockout artists. 24 knockouts and 26 wins for Villa. 27 knockouts and 30 wins for Ennis. Now the difference is Ennis is just so much more athletically gifted and has such a diverse arsenal out of both stances. But if you look at Roiman Villa, let's do the old box rec. And I asked him about this, and we'll check some of what he had to say. But the only L is a split decision loss to a fighter from Mexico in Mexico. And if you talk to Roiman, he says, of course, he thought he won this fight. Probably not a bullshit claim. When you did lose a split in the other guy's hometown, usually that means maybe you actually deserve to win that fight. Like Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor. So he could easily be 27-0, 24 knockouts, coming off a win against Rashidi Ellis. And Ellis, man, going back, Villa impressed me because Ellis on that rewatch impressed me. Ellis boxed a tremendous fight through basically much of 10 rounds. I don't think it was a robbery because Villa was in that fight. Even though he was losing most of the rounds, he may have won enough of them to go with 2 knockdowns in the 12th to pull something out. But Ellis was extremely sharp and fought very well in that fight. And Villa impressed me with his courage, his punch resistance, his aggressiveness, and his punching power. And the fact that Villa dropped Ellis twice in the 12th after withstanding all the punches from Ellis shows you this guy can punch hard for all 12 rounds. So all Ennis has to do is leave that chin up once, and for Villa to crack him with a lunging left hook, and we got drama. So I got Ennis by stoppage, but I'm looking forward to the fight, and I honestly won't be that surprised if Villa makes his legs do a little funky dance at some point in the fight off a left hook. We'll see. So maybe we could check out right here. Let me read a little bit from the chat here, and then we'll check what Roiman Villa has to say heading into Saturday night. But Rudy Tupapa says, yeah, Sean, he does remind me a bit of Chino. Ennis is more disciplined than Broner. Yes, he is. Ennis loves boxing a little too much, man. He sometimes I wonder if he spars too much. He'll say 13 rounds done in the gym, and it's like, whoa, champ, like, take it easy. So I heard a lot of guys, it affected their health. It deteriorated their health, the famous Philadelphia gym wars. So, be careful, Jaron. I know you're chomping at the bit. You probably wish you were fighting more often in today's sport, but yeah, that's the kind of guy you got to pull out of the gym as opposed to wake him up and make him get into the gym, Jaron Ennis. Mr. Villa, definitely confident, says Renee Boxyoung. Good to see you, Renee Boxyoung. Derek Choi saying Villa will walk through Jaron Ennis. I don't think he's going to walk through. I think he's going to get stopped. But he's a tough motherfucker, that Roiman Villa. And it's a better fight than I originally thought. At first, I got such high expectations and such a high opinion on Ennis's talent that I get so enamored with the talent, I almost want to skip the process and go, look, he's not 21. He's not 22. Ennis is 25, 26 years old. He's 26. He's 26. I know he hasn't fought top 5 welterweights, but let's get to it, man. Get him a fight with Spencer Crawford. Get him a fight with Keith Thurman. And so began to look at opponents like Villa as walkovers when he's not. He's a dangerous opponent because he's in his physical prime. He's operating at a higher level of confidence, having beaten Rashidi Ellis. He's gotten adjusted to the kind of hand speed that's going to be, not the power, but the kind of hand speed he'll have to deal with Saturday night. He's seen it before and conquered it. And all this guy needs is one punch with Ennis's chin up to bring some drama in the fight. So all of that made me more excited for the fight. Just going back and rewatching these guys, I still think Ennis, no matter how dangerous this guy is, Ennis is going to be thanking the good Lord for this man, because it's not Karan Shukajan trying to do everything in his power to Murad Hakar him, like Murad Hakar did Bernard Hopkins back in the day in Philly. Doing everything he can not to win, not to even win a round, but doing everything he can just to survive and to make you look bad, which he succeeded in doing. He made the most electrifying talent in the sport look pedestrian that night by not engaging with him. That won't be an issue with Villa. Villa's going to engage. So Boots Ennis is going to have a chance to get off all his best shit, and I think that's what we'll see. I think it's going to be very fun to watch. So I almost forgot the super chat I had to get to. I'm so sorry, Jim the Boxing Life. Jim the Boxing Life saying Stanionis needs to fight Crowley. He would win that fight. And the winner fight Keith Thurman versus the Ugas winner for one of the belts vacated. Then unify against Boots, knowing Boots will win a title. once vacated. So, Jim the Boxing Life, to unpack everything you were saying, I think Cody Crowley's closing in on the IBF. So Crowley would maybe have to wind up fighting Boots next instead of Stanionis. Stanionis is probably going to get his hands on the full WBA title once Spence vacates or whatever happens in Spence Crawford. Even if they rematch each other at 147, even though it's being reported they'll probably rematch at 154. Even if they rematch at 147, one of them will probably get stripped. And Stanionis will get his hands on the WBA belt. As for Thurman and Ugas winner, Jim Boxing Life, it's being reported that Ugas and Thurman are going to fight in August. I'll just tell you guys something I heard from people close to the teams, and that's that fight's going to be at 154 pounds, which hasn't been reported yet. So I guess you're getting it scooped on FightHype right here. But yeah, I've heard from people around that fight that fight's going to be contested at 154, Ugas and Thurman. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was told wrong. But I was told that's why we're not getting Ugas versus Mario Barrios, because Barrios wanted to fight at 147 pounds, where he just got to, and didn't want to fight at 154 pounds, which is where I don't know if it was Thurman or Ugas preferred it. So I'm hearing Thurman and Ugas aren't even going to be fighting at welterweight. As for Stanionis, Boots, and Crowley, and the other guys you mentioned, I feel like PBC is going to find a way to get the IBF and WBA belts on the three of them, 2 out of the 3 of them, and they will fight each other, probably. Crowley, Boots, and Stanionis. And I expect Boots to beat both of those guys. I think Crowley is definitely the weakest out of the 3 by a significant margin. I think Stanionis would beat Cody Crowley, and I think Boots would beat Stanionis. So that's how I think that'll shake out. Boots can clean up any vacant belts in this division. I favor him over anybody in the division except maybe Crawford or Spence. But I think he'll get his hands on any belts that become vacated by the winner of Crawford and Spence. I think he would beat Stanionis. And it looks like we're never going to get Stanionis versus Ortiz because all the smart people in the room who kind of knew Ortiz wasn't going to be able to make 47 the third time around, they've been saying he's got to move up to 54. So they've been proven correct. Here we go. Molly Mall said, "What fight?" Thank you for the super chat, Molly Mall. Always good to see you, brother. Which fighter could help Boots develop properly? I think Stanionis and Villa will help him develop defensively. Stanionis is sharp and fast, throws everything sharp, throws everything at one speed, a little predictable. And then Villa is a good fight for him this weekend because Villa is going to be the first guy that could really make him pay for his mistakes. Not so much on a technical level, but just if he leaves the chin up and he gets caught by a left hook, it's not going to be something he could just smile off and keep working. It'll make him pay. There'll be a real consequence. So I think Villa actually is a good fight for Boots' development. And Thurman would have been a good development fight, but Thurman's going up to 54. Cody Crowley is easy work for Boots. I think Stanionis and Villa are good fights. Those guys are only going to test him with a certain style. Someone like Keith Thurman, but Thurman, from what I'm hearing, again, is going to fight Ugas at 54. Thurman would have been a better test to test his craft, to test his intellect in that ring. There's not too many crafty... My man Sean Porter retired 2 years ago. I'm hearing Keith's moving up to 54. So there's not... Ugas is moving up to 54 with Keith, I'm hearing. So there's not a whole lot of crafty veterans to test his intellect in there. But guys like Villa and Stanionis will test his conditioning, test his chin, test his defense, but not so much test his intellect in there. But someone like Keith Thurman would need to do... Keith Thurman would really fit the bill there. But Keith Thurman ain't getting in the ring with no Jaron Ennis. So it is what it is. But thank you for the super chat, Molly Mall. And I'm looking forward to doing a round-by-round of the fight this Saturday for Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis, David Benavidez, those are 2 of my favorite guys to watch fight because they're 2 fighters that have that rare blend of physical talent, hand speed, punching power, but they like to fight. They like to get knockouts. They're not... I mean, Ennis a little bit, but not really. they'll take some shots to get you out of there. They both have the temperament, and Emmanuel Stewart loved fighters like these. They both have the temperament, Boots and Benavidez, that I'd rather take some shots and maybe even lose a couple rounds if it means closing the show and getting a knockout versus going 12 boring rounds and winning every round. 12, monotonous rounds and winning every round. Guys like Boots and Benavidez, they have the talent to make their fights a little more dull, but they like to get the knockout. They like to exchange. They like to test themselves in the exchanges where they feel they have the advantage. So Boots and Benavidez, two of my favorite guys to watch fight. I'm really excited to watch Boots, and I was really looking forward to comparing him and Vergil. And as far as Boots and Vergil goes, I favored Boots if they ever do fight because he's more creative, and Vergil in that high guard, more predictable. But sometimes guys that apply the pressure, and especially if they have a good jab to apply the pressure behind, they're not just coming in naked, walking in. Sometimes guys that keep the hands up, keep it fundamentally. We'll see this versus Spence versus Crawford. Boots and Ortiz was kind of similar in that Boots, like Crawford, the switch hitter, the dynamic thinking fighter that can create incredible openings that out of two stances that most fighters just can't. But Vergil, like Spence, both out of Texas, usually in the high guard, the better jab, fundamentally sound, hands tight, throwing lots of punches behind the power jab, lots of combinations. That was Vergil and Spence. And I favor Boots over Vergil just like I favor Crawford over Spence for the same reasons. A little bit more of a counterpuncher, more dynamic, more creative in there, a little faster. Boots is faster than Vergil. Crawford's a little faster than Spence. But we'll see. There were similarities in those two matchups in the ways I just mentioned. And we'll see with Spence and Crawford. I favor Crawford because more creative, more versatile, more dynamic, can punch in between punches and win those exchanges, I think, in the meat of the fight, in the heart of the fight. But instead, man, it's just going to be Boots' night, and that sucks. I was looking forward to comparing and contrasting, doing a round by round for both. But let's hear from the opponent of Boots Ennis. Latib Neeb said, "Are you a boxer?" Not a boxer. I had a couple of my little amateur fights back in the day though, but I went 2-1, and I feel like I kind of got robbed in that last fight. So I wasn't gonna be anything important. It wasn't going to be no champion, but yeah, I had a couple fights. So anyways, here we go. Let's hear from the guys that really know what they're doing, like Roiman Villa.
Todo bien, mi hermano. Gracias a Dios. ¿Y vos cómo estáis?
Gracias por...
Fire in my bones saying, Roiman Villa, good comment. I could already tell Fire in my bones just by the first 4 words. Villa is a truth machine. I already know where you're going with it. Fire in my bones saying Villa is a truth machine fighter, kind of like my boy Sean Porter was. Your true colors will show against fighters like him. And and that's what Fire in My Bones is getting at is he's not going to test you so much intellectually. It's not like he's this tough puzzle to solve. He's coming forward in a high guard. The test is your endurance, your chin, your heart, and what do you do when you hit a guy repeatedly with your best punches that usually make the other guy wince or fall down or end the fight, and he keeps coming and he keeps trying to take your head off. That's what we're going to learn about Boots Ennis. This isn't Sergey Lipinets. This isn't a little 140-pounder who's been dropped by Mikey Garcia and you're fighting the remains of him. Good fighter. This isn't Karan Jukajan running for his dear life. This isn't the cat from Canada that he stopped, Custio Clayton, who none of us heard of. And then he comes from Canada and gets knocked out in a round. This guy, Villa, that we're going to hear from right here, is a tough guy, man. He's got a little Chino Maidana in him. So let's listen.
But in English, say Sean Zittel, FightHype.com.
Just do the interview, bro. Stop trying to speak Spanish.
Roiman Villa, who came to the United States just a few months ago.
Ernest Johnson said people underestimated Maidana the same way. They did. He came here and beat up Victor Cayo on HBO, and then he beat Victor Ortiz. But even after he beat Victor Ortiz, it was like,
Made a name for himself, beating Rashidi Ellis on pay-per-view. Now he fights maybe the most feared welterweight.
I said what I said Karan used his legs. Well, he did, but that's all he used. He forgot to use his hands and make a miss, make him pay, not just make a miss, make a miss, make a miss, get some water at the end of the round and go down 12-0. But no, I hear what you're saying. He exposed some flaws in Jaron Ennis, who all of us are so high on. He showed that Jaron Ennis couldn't cut the ring off.
in the sport.
That's not going to be an issue against Roiman Villa. You don't got to cut the ring off and find this guy.
And Jaron Boots Ennis. And let's start there, Roiman. What do you make of all the hype surrounding Jaron Ennis here in America? What do you make of him?
¿Qué te parece todo
What's up, Red?
como el entusiasmo que hay por Ennis en Estados Unidos?
Me gusta porque los tienen muy favoritos también Ennis y bueno, yo estoy muy contento, emocionado por esta oportunidad que me la dio.
All in One Sports
Bueno,
Media says, what was your record? I was 2-1 in the amateurs.
Voy a demostrar ese día que no hay hombre grande, el único grande es Dios. Entonces, esa es una de las cosas que más me motiva a mí porque siempre, desde que estoy peleando aquí en Estados Unidos, me tienen siempre como por abajo, ¿sí me entendéis? Pero bueno, gracias a Dios es el que siempre ha dado la victoria y bueno, estoy agradecido con el Señor.
I like it because he's such an overwhelming favorite that I feel like people have been flying under the radar, and that's just the way I like it. So,
All right,
you know,
let me skip ahead.
And you know, first of all, I
There's
trust
one
the preparation,
answer
the work
here.
that we're putting in, and
He
you know,
compares
I'm
his
also,
fight-
trusting the Lord and what.
Things, and do you think you'll take advantage of them in this fight?
Es lo que va.
So even though he would appear to be a bigger puncher than Rashidi Ellis, you'll be fighting with the same level of aggressiveness in this fight.
O sea que tu nivel de agresividad va a seguir siendo el mismo que contra Eli, ¿verdad?
El mismo que le puse a Ennis, que le he puesto a todos los peleadores desde que empecé, eso se lo voy a poner tanto a Eli como al que venga. Que me ponga.
And if you look at the man, he looks healthy and strong. You know, you could tell that he's had a great camp. You could tell just by the shape of his face and his jaw that he's taken off any fat. He's in good shape. That he's in shape and ready to fight. Doesn't look drained, but looks like he's made sacrifices to get down to 147 strong and trim. And the man looks like he's in his prime. What is that? A little teardrop he has right here on his. Was he kill somebody in the streets?
Adelante. Esa es mi forma de pelear y no, como te digo, aunque que yo quisiera tratar de cambiar el modo de pelear, no puedo porque cuando yo estoy peleando que me dan, como te digo, no me puedo contener, pues, ¿sí me entendéis? De estar esperando si me va a tirar o no me va a tirar.
See, I don't speak Spanish, but he's getting expressive with it now. I'm Italian. Once I see hands starting to move, I know I got him.
El chino, una mezcla argentino-mexicana, me gusta. So, you know, I can't contain myself. It's in my blood to where I need to fight like, you know, as if I was Mexican or like Chino Maidana for an Argentinian example there.
That's where he began to compare himself to Marcos Maidana. Let me real quick get to this super chat, and then I want to resume some of what Villa's saying here. Blind Faith, thank you for the super chat, saying Nightcrawler boots Ennis. He will power box Villa, and he can stop Villa by rounds 8 to 9 by touching Villa and then stepping off and then catching Villa with shots in between. You know, when Villa's trying to throw those big left hooks, big bombs, punch in between with those quicker hands, sharp shoot him in those openings. And then catching Villa with shots in between and the body work. And in the middle of all that, in the middle of everything you're saying, Blind Faith, using the jab as an orthodox, as a southpaw, stepping off, walking him into shots. And then when he starts getting desperate and you're walking him into shots and you're sharp shooting him and you're touching him with the jab to the body and to the head, then when he starts opening up wide, that's when you punch in between his punches, start knocking him with some hard shots, and all the while touching that body with the power jab, touching that body with the changing levels with the punches to the body, to the head. I totally agree with you, Blind Faith. I think Boots is going to do all that. All I wonder in this fight, and I actually basically have the same pick you do. Boots by probably stoppage and inside of about 10 rounds, 8, 9, 10. I think once you get to those rounds, as tough as Villa is, his body's gonna start breaking down. There's only so much you could take to the body and to the head from a puncher like Jaron Ennis, who has this rare blend of not just snapping punching power, so Crawford and Spence have two different types of punching power, both good punchers. Terrence Crawford, more of that explosive snap on the end of the shot that can score that one-punch knockout. Errol Spence more the heavy-handed, more what you call heavy-handed thudding power, clubbing shots. So, in a heavyweight example would be Mike Tyson had the snap punching power, and George Foreman had that heavy-handed thudding, club you into submission punching power. Jaron Ennis is special because he's got a little bit of both. When he punches, watch the tape, you hear that heavy thud, thud, thud on every shot, even the jabs. But he also has that whip, that snap to the punch, the quickness. So he's a very dangerous puncher, Jaron Ennis. Can punch hard with both hands in both stances, and he's got heavy hands, and he's got snap at the end of his shots. I like everything I've seen from Jaron Ennis, except he didn't cut the ring off against Karan Shukashan, and his chin is exposed sometimes. But yeah, I'm with you, Blind Faith. I'm with you. I think that's pretty. I think Ennis is going to put on a beautiful performance, but I won't be surprised if he has a moment of drama, kind of like Jared Anderson had with Charles Martin, where he won 8 or 9 rounds, but got buzzed a couple times by some left hands. I think that unlike Anderson, Ennis will win this fight by knockout. He won't see, Villa won't see the final bell like Martin did with Anderson. And I don't think that any defensive leaks that Ennis shows will be as glaring as the young heavyweight Anderson. Ennis has had more pro fights. He's a little bit older than Anderson. Although he never quite showed some of those ugly moves defensively that Anderson showed last Saturday. So, I still won't be surprised if Villa gives us a moment or two, because he has the kind of punching power. All he's got to do is crack him with one left hook, leaving the chin exposed, and we can have a little drama. So, but yeah, I'm with you, Blind Faith. I got Ennis. Rudy Tupapa said, Sean, where can I apply to be a translator for boxers? I would be better and a great translator. I don't know. You could always hit up their teams, hit up Showtime, hit up some of the people at Showtime, my man Chris de Blasio and a few others. But yeah, Jonathan97 said #1 podcast. Thank you, brother Jonathan. We got to get some production value going. I got to stop using this $20 webcam and, maybe get out of my office that has the Sega Dreamcast in it. But humble beginnings. Anyways, let's get back to Villa for a second.
Where aggressiveness is in my blood, and I'm gonna go out there and just follow my instincts, because that's just what I do.
Why is that? What is it about you as a man or as a fighter? Is it the way you grew up in Colombia? What is it that makes you that kind of fighter?
By the way, I had a few people telling me that Villa is Venezuelan. Oh, see, chat, this isn't fair. I had some people roast me in the comments saying, why do you keep calling this man Colombian when he's Venezuelan? Okay, let me explain myself. Maybe because their flags are almost the exact same color. They have the exact same color scheme. And maybe because on his box rec, it says he was born in Venezuela, he resides in Venezuela, but his nationality is Colombian. So forget that. That's very fucking confusing, chat. That's very confusing. That'd be like Canelo Alvarez, like birthplace, Guadalajara, Mexico. Residence, Guadalajara, Mexico. National citizenship, United States of America. So, anyways, the man is Colombian, Venezuelan. He's both. How about that? He's both. The point is he can fight.
Who is unafraid to take some punches to land his own punches. Not all fighters are like that.
¿Por qué eso es así tan peculiar, en el sentido de que no te da miedo exponerte a recibir golpes y tratar de darle la mayor cantidad de daño al rival? Porque no hay muchos boxeadores que sean así tan liberados, que digamos, con el concepto de que no les importa recibir con tal de poder devolver ese daño el doble.
Bueno, yo pienso que cada quien tiene su manera de pelear, y esa es mi manera de pelear. Además que veo muchos peleadores mexicanos.
The kind of temperament Villa is showing here is exactly what you want to see from the less talented fighter. The less talented fighter has to understand the onus is on him to take one to land one, to make it a fight. The more talented guy, the onus isn't on him. That's why sometimes, like when Canelo fought Floyd, no matter how much everyone said, you know you got to go and get Floyd, right? You know you got to be on the front foot all night. Canelo, up until that point, was always the more talented fighter faced with whoever was across the ring. And the more talented guy, he rarely has it in his head that I have to sell out, I have to take one to land one. That's the lesser talented guy's job. Because left at a real boxing match, both guys at distance, boxing, the more talented guy is almost always going to win. He's going to have the faster hands. He's going to get off first. He's going to tag you, and you're not going to tag him. So you have to be willing to take more chances, to have more sacrifices in that ring to have a chance. And you like Duran against Leonard in the first fight, and this guy grasps that. Maidana in the first fight with Floyd, part of why the second fight was so not competitive is Floyd said, okay, I gave people their money's worth in the first fight. I'm using my legs this second fight and taking the fun out of it, and I'm outboxing this motherfucker and getting out of here with a much easier win than the first time. It was Floyd, but it was also Maidana. Maidana had made some money and wasn't as hungry heading into the second fight and wasn't as willing on a round-by-round basis to pay that price, to take one to land one over and over and over again. It was more like he fought a little bit more, except for that third round where he landed that right hand at the bell, he fought a little bit more like a guy who was fat and content. And sure enough, I knew that was going to be his last fight. If you ever go back to the Boxing Voice and watch my interviews with Maidana on Media Day before the rematch, I was constantly asking him about how hungry are you anymore? I mean, I know the paychecks you've made lately go a long way back home in Argentina. Anyways, when you are the less talented guy, you have to be willing to take one to land one, like Jake LaMotta against Robinson, like Joe Frazier against Ali. If you're content to have a real boxing match, the quicker, more talented guy is going to get off first and win the fight.
Veo mucho a Chino Maidana.
Can't take too many from Boots, though, says the natural. No, you cannot. And that's why I think, inevitably Boots is going to get this guy out of here. But it's going to be fun to watch.
Peleó con Mayweather, era un peleador muy técnico, pero no lo dejó trabajar. Entonces, si lo dejáis trabajar, un peleador técnico que sea muy técnico, si lo dejáis trabajar, no podéis hacer nada. Pero si no lo dejáis trabajar y no dejáis que trabaje a su manera, sino que él trabaje a la manera como vos trabajáis, las cosas son diferentes.
Look, it's just the way I am. I can't explain it, but what I can tell you is that, for example, in the Mayweather-Maidana fight, where Maidana was very aggressive.
That's what he keeps comparing this fight to. We'll close on this. Keeps comparing it to Mayweather-Maidana, him and Boots.
Mayweather just didn't let him do anything that he wanted to do, and it was kind of like trying to punch something that wasn't there. I learned a lot from that fight, where no matter how strong you are, if someone doesn't want to let you do what you want to do, you can't just go forward and continue to be stubborn. You have to find different ways.
So will this look more like the first Mayweather-Maidana fight and not the second one?
O sea, ¿vos crees que en esa comparación esta pelea sería más como la primera entre Mayweather y Maidana, no la segunda?
Exactamente. Así que va a ser esa.
Exactly. Yes.
We'll see.
I gotcha. And
then there was one more I wanted you guys to see.
Boxing wise, better. That's the one that fight. So I took
las cosas.
Like boxing wise, better
about the fight.
No, dog.
So this answer had me excited for the fight, at least right
here. Boxing wise, better. That's Spence, but it's a toss up. It's a 50-50 fight that I couldn't be able to tell you who will be the favorite.
Well, let me just ask you this then about the fight. You're an aggressive guy like Spence. When you're being the aggressive,
así le pelearía.
Julio Cesar Chavez, he used to.
Am I really talking to in your?
Yeah.
It was in Mexico. Both the fans and myself, we both thought that I won that fight. So I took it as a life lesson and I moved on.
And last question, man. Crawford's.
There was one where he
split decision lost. Did you get me more excited for the fight?
There it is.
Tengo 4 meses preparando.
Todo lo opposite. Really, fear.
Yo voy a dar.
Estaba moviéndose.
Did not try to win a single round.
Here it was. This is where he promises we're at least not going to get Karan Shukashan.
Come forward and make this a fight, but for the fans and even for Jaron Ennis listening, who hated his last fight where his opponent did not try to...
Augustus Berg saying, it just sounds dumb. People ask so many dumb questions. It's not Mayweather-Maidana. Look, I know it's not Mayweather-Maidana. Mayweather-Maidana is literally behind me. I was at both fights. But, yeah, I can explain. I'm smart enough to explain all the reasons why it's not Mayweather-Maidana. Mayweather, 5-division champion, you know, the best fighter of his era. Jaron Ennis hasn't even won a world title yet, so I get it. We're trying to provide a stylistic blueprint here. Jaron Ennis is going to be fighting off the back foot, looking to counter, looking to walk in, the aggressive South American knockout artist who's come from South America unheralded and has pulled off an upset against an American fighter, and now is still being underestimated despite that upset, and has the power, has the tatted up body and the aggressiveness to maybe bring some fireworks to Jaron Ennis. So, yeah, I know it's not literally Mayweather-Maidana, but also, you guys are hypocrites sometimes, brother. If the title of the video was just Roiman Villa on game plan for Jaron Ennis, it wouldn't even get your attention. But put Mayweather and Maidana in there, and now we get Roiman Villa some shine, and actually get some shine on his fight with Jaron Ennis that maybe people otherwise wouldn't click on a Roiman Villa. But in order to get some of the casual fans who don't know who Roiman Villa is, a lot of casual fans don't even know who Boots Ennis is. Mayweather-Maidana, oh, I saw that fight on pay-per-view. Well, what's this all about? They click, and now Roiman Villa gets a little bit of shine that maybe he would not have otherwise have gotten without the names Mayweather and Maidana in the video. So just so you know,
fought to survive, moved away all night. Is there any message you want to send to the fans or to Jaron that that's not what they're going to get in this fight, or you know, anything you want to say about that?
En la pelea anterior de Ennis era como que su rival no estaba tratando de ganar un solo round, simplemente estaba moviéndose, tratando de sobrevivir. ¿Te gustaría mandarle un mensaje a la afición para decirles?
It's its own fight. Every fight's its own fight. Crawford Spence its own fight. That doesn't stop everybody from trying to compare it to Leonard and Hearns or De La Hoya Trinidad or this fight or that fight. You know, that just is what it is, brother.
Así, esta vez no van a ver ese tipo de cosas el 8 de julio.
No, hermano, es que esos son peleadores que el miedo no lo deja trabajar. ¿Sí me entiendes? El miedo no lo deja trabajar, pero yo soy diferente. Yo no voy a hacer ese trabajo, ese tipo de pelea, ni que me paguen ni 10 millones para que yo pelee así. No. Yo voy a ganar, hermano. Yo voy a dar una sorpresa.
I'm coming to win. That's all he's saying. Yeah, I understood that.
Upset. You couldn't pay me like even $10 million to fight scared like that, because
damn, he said you couldn't pay him $10 million to fight in the style Karan Jukashan fought in.
That fight is that clearly, you know, fear paralyzes the best of them, and if you allow yourself to be paralyzed by fear, then that's it. I can promise you that there is not a single ounce of me that's willing to fight like that. I'm total opposite.
Yeah, no hablas eso.
So yeah, looking forward to it. He said all the right things. He probably still gets stopped because Ennis is just a ridiculous talent. Switch hitting, power, speed, everything. Jab out of both stances. But Villa is bigger than the tail of the tape is giving him credit for. Definitely not 3 inches shorter than Boots. And I think is a little tougher than the odds makers are giving him credit for and the fans are giving him credit for. I'm looking forward to the fight. I expect Jaron Ennis to shine, but I think it's going to be very fun to watch the whole way through. And Villa will be dangerous for about 6 or 7 rounds. I think by around 7, 8, 9, he'll begin to break down and Ennis could get him out of there. That's my prediction. Ennis by stoppage later in the fight, but all it's going to take is one time with his chin exposed and a left hook by Villa to give us some drama. So we'll see how that goes down. I see some people saying in the chat that Shakur Stevenson is... who said that? Chirac saying Shakur ducking Edwin De Los Santos. No, I don't think so. I think those are 2 different promotional companies, PBC Top Rank. They're not going to come together for Shakur and De Los Santos. They didn't come together for Spence and Crawford. They're not coming together for Shakur and De Los Santos. But then again, Al Heyman could maybe send De Los Santos over to ESPN as a B-side like he did with Charles Martin and Jaron Anderson last Saturday. So, I mean, maybe that could happen. It's not like De Los Santos is this big draw just yet that, needs to be penciled into the Showtime schedule and roster. So maybe so, but that kind of brings me to Shakur and Devin Haney now, and I see a lot of talking about that. Look, I don't think either guy's really ducking the fight. I just think that the fight's not ready yet. The fight doesn't make sense yet. It doesn't make a whole lot of money yet, and it's a career-defining fight for both fighters. And it might not even be the fight that it's certainly not for Devin. It's not even the fight that pays them the most right now. Devin could probably make more money in a rematch with Lomachenko and definitely big money against Gervonta Davis. He could also probably make more money fighting Teofimo Lopez at 140, and that would get him all three of those fights. You could argue would do more for him than beating Stevenson right now, because beating Lomachenko would put a rest to the doubt, the criticism, the dispute that he won that first fight. Beating Tank Davis would make him a superstar, and then beating Teofimo would make him a 2-division champion and would make him a bigger star as well. So I just think the Stevenson fight isn't ready yet. I don't think either guy's ducking the other. It's Haney gave him an offer that he probably knew Shakur would hate, but it was a good counterpunch by Devin Haney, and then he follows up like a savage saying, sign the contract. Now I realize he's flipping the sign the contract thing on Shakur, who sent him the bottle of champagne and it said sign the contract, and I got your fucking contract. The champ has arrived with a contract. Here it is, 25%. Now he probably knows deep down Shakur would never take that offer. And Devin, if he was being real, he would tell you probably that I know he's really turning down the fight because of the money, not because he's scared or he thinks he can't beat me. He's Shakur. I think I could beat him. He thinks he could beat me. But Devin is just saying, hey, you want to open your big mouth and talk about a contract. Here's an actual contract. Allegedly on Devin's side saying that Bob Arum even ran through it and saw it. But, Stevenson's not going to take 25%. If it was up to me, it would be 65-35 for Haney. Instead, I think that's about fair because Haney took the lesser end of the money to fight Kambosos, went to Australia and beat him. Now, taking lesser against Kambosos to go to Australia, it isn't quite the same thing as taking lesser to fight a Haney or a Stevenson. Kambosos all along was a very winnable fight for Devin that most boxing people favored him to win, including the odds makers. I knew he'd beat Kambosos, and he did. Now, this is a much bigger risk for Shakur Stevenson to take. I think Shakur would take maybe 25-30% against a George Kambosos because you just know you're going to win. But against a Devin Haney, a fellow thoroughbred, a career-defining fight, you don't want to just jump into that for short change. So I understand where Shakur is coming from. But, Devin saves face. Devin saves face by saying, hey, I did offer him a contract. So, good spin there by Haney. But I don't know what... That's just my thoughts on it, is that fight just isn't really ready yet. It's not big enough for a guy like Stevenson to take 25% and still be happy with the money. He would probably still be making a career-high payday, and that would be Devin's point. But for a career-defining fight, you don't just want a career-high payday by a little bit. You want it to be by a significant amount. So I understand. I don't trash Stevenson for not accepting 25%. And I don't trash Devin Haney like it's just a pure PR move. Like, hey, he did wind up giving a contract, and a lot of these sanctioning bodies, not all of them, but I think 3 out of 4, they basically give you 75-25 if it goes to a purse bid and it's a mandatory title shot anyway. 75% to the champion, 25% to the challenger, and that's what Devin was offering him. So, but yeah, the fight just ain't ready yet. And what kind of sucks for Devin Haney, in my opinion, is the fight with Tank is ready. The fight with Tank for Undisputed, it's ready from a legacy standpoint, and it's ready from a box office standpoint. Tank and Devin is big business. But Devin can't make 135 pounds comfortably anymore. And you see him getting bigger and bigger in between fights now. And if Haney can't, you don't want another Ryan Garcia situation. You don't want any talk about weight or nothing like that. If Tank can beat him, it's because he's the better man, and that's all you want to happen. So I wouldn't want any excuses from either fighter. I don't think Haney is really 100% getting down to 135 anymore. I think he's a 140 pounder, And I know Lopez has talked about retirement, but from where I'm sitting, the Lopez fight kind of makes the most sense because you don't fight Gervonta Davis if you're not 110%. You just don't. I don't care how much money there is for you. I don't care how confident you are that even being a little drained and being just a little less than 100%, I can still do it. I can still beat him. Don't even take that chance, man. That's a career definer. You don't get any do back. You don't want to be like James Toney talking about that wasn't really me in there against Roy. The weight. So no excuses once it goes down. So for Devin, you're still young enough, and Tank will inevitably be a 140-pounder again at some point that you could move up and fight T.O., maybe win that fight. I think I would give the edge to Haney to win that fight based on their styles. And then you could fight Gervonta Davis or Shakur Stevenson at 140 pounds where you're a champion and where you're comfortable, as opposed to sucking down to 135 where Tank and Shakur are going to be stronger than him. They make the weight better. They're more comfortable at the weight, and I think they both be stronger than Devin Haney at 35. At 140, different story. I think Devin could be the bigger man against Stevenson or Tank. You're 25 years old. There's no real rush, so move up to 40. That's how I see it. We'll see how it shakes out. Oh, super chat, Sean. My bad. Where did I miss it at? Oh, my bad, Blind Faith. I got you. Blind Faith with the super chat saying, Bud versus Spence winner fights Ugas Thurman at 154 next. I don't think so. I think that's small potatoes for the winner of Crawford, and maybe Crawford at 54 would fight Thurman. But I say Crawford more likely because I think Spence has got Canelo. I think Spence and Heyman have Canelo on the mind. No, I mean it's all Terrence Crawford right now, but I think the business minds in them can't help but think about Cowboy Stadium Canelo Alvarez if we could get past Crawford. So I think Errol Spence, if he beats Crawford, he's thinking Canelo. He's thinking all green. He's thinking big bucks. And he already said he'll never fight Thurman. So I think there was a very much a serious play for him to fight Thurman, and I think Spence, if you listen to Spence, he'll tell you as much, that he dug his heels in and said it's going to be Crawford, undisputed, or nothing, basically. And he sat out over a year, and we got the Crawford fight. But I think that he was offered Thurman in the interim, and we easily could have seen Spence and Thurman at 54 already. I think it was probably close to being done a couple times, and Spence just said nope. So no, I don't think, Blind Faith, that Spence is going to fight the winner of Ugas Thurman. I don't think Terrence is either. I think that's small potatoes for them. I think Terrence would be thinking about fighting whoever's the king at 54, whether it would be Jermell moving back down after Canelo or Tim Tszyu. If Tim Tszyu could get his hands on some belts, Terrence could say to himself, I already beat one Australian, Jeff Horn, let me fight this guy. Or Terrence might even think retirement. And if Terrence is thinking retirement, that's not a good thing heading into this fight. You never want a guy with 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And fighters that I've talked to have told me Terrence has talked about retirement the last couple years. I've heard from some world champions tell me personally off the record that Terrence has told them, and this is 2 or 3 years ago, I'm going to get that Spence fight and then I'm going to retire. I'm picking Crawford to beat Spence, but that's not music to my ears in terms of my pick. But no, I think the winner of Ugas and Thurman is just two small potatoes at that point for the winner of Spence Crawford. The winner of Spence Crawford is going to have a huge bump from winning that fight. And if it's Spence, he's going to be thinking all about Canelo. And if it's Crawford, maybe he would consider fighting Thurman at 54, but I think he'd have bigger business on his mind as well. Maybe Tim Tszyu. So we'll see. So let's see. Every time Shakur moves up, Devin's moving up. Says no sleep, Tana. That's not exactly true. Devin was never a featherweight. Devin was never a 130-pounder. Devin's been a lightweight since he was 15, 16 years old. He's almost been a lightweight 10 years now. He's 25 years old. He's becoming a grown man. It's time to move up. Where him having to move up is independent of any other fighters right now. I'm just looking at Haney's body, looking at how drawn and dry he is even the week of some of his fights. And then when you look at the fact that he's rehydrating to around 150 pounds plus, it's time to move up. And And so, yeah, that's not a true narrative. It's not like, Devin Haney was at 130, and then Shakur was at 126, and Shakur moved up to 30, and then Devin moved up to 35. No, Devin's been at lightweight his whole career. And anytime a fighter makes a weight class for about 10 years, it's usually time to move up. And then even when they don't, they're not as strong as they were a couple years previous to that time. So we'll see. He said he would fight Shakur at 147 or 154, says No Sleep Tana. Well, that deserves some criticism then, Tana, because it's like, what about 140? Well, what about 140? What are you talking about? So, I hear what you're saying. Matt's Adventures, thank you for the super chat, brother. Thank you for the 10. And good to see you, Matt. I got to get better at. I got to get back to talking to the chat a little bit more. I start to trail off with some of the takes, but I want to feel like I'm providing takes and insight for you guys, and not just waiting on, not just being overly reliant on the chat to keep things going. You know, I'm trying to keep a good show. But Matt's Adventure says Jermell is getting knocked out in 9 rounds in reference to the Canelo fight. That's number 1. Number 2 is what the fuck is Fury doing? I'm saying that as a big fan of his. Number 3 is Wilder is going to destroy Ruiz. Like, I'm talking vicious knockout. And then number 4, Anthony Joshua is going to come back to being the bruiser August 12th. That was a good soup. That's how you get your money's worth. That's how you get your money's worth, Matt's Adventures. Beautifully done. Hit multiple points in your super chat. You can save money that way. Okay, so to go point by point, Matt. Jermell getting knocked out in 9. I don't think so, even though he, like Tim Bradley and me were talking about in our interview, he might be good chance he's light in the ass at 68. He'll have the height, he'll have the movement, he'll have the pedigree, but when it comes to absorbing shots, them punches are going to be different coming from Canelo as opposed to Tony Harrison or Jason Rosario. So he's going to be getting hurt with punches like we're not used to seeing Iron Man, Jermell Charlo getting hurt. He can hold up to the best at 54. It's going to be different getting hit by Canelo. But that being said, Canelo, man, he's giving me those Pacquiao vibes from after. He's giving me those Pacquiao vibes where Pacquiao had 10 plus fights, a decade plus. If you take out the Lucas Matisse knockout, which, like, come on, it was a shot Matisse overseas in Malaysia where Pacquiao was probably able to take his shit. And so if you take that knockout of Matisse out of it, Pacquiao hadn't knocked anyone out for the last 11, 12 years of his career. And he did that while still being a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter, still having tons of gas in the tank, and did it while dropping guys like Algieri 4 times, dropping Bradley twice, hurting Brandon Rios multiple times, dropping Shane Mosley, breaking Antonio Margarito's eye socket, but not getting knockouts anymore. It was like he could knock on that door, he could bang on it, but he won't go through it. And that became Pacquiao. And that's what Canelo really gave me those vibes in the John Ryder fight. Because, okay, Bivol, you lost to Bivol. You looked flat in the third Golovkin fight. But then John Ryder, it was like watching Pacquiao Algieri. It's like, down goes Ryder again. Oh, Ryder's hurt again. But you can't get him out of there. So that sticks with me with Canelo right now. And because of that, I don't think he's getting Charlo out of there. And Charlo's got a lot of pride and championship pedigree and heart. Now, Bernard Hopkins tells me if that fight goes the distance, Charlo's going to win. Bernard Hopkins told me yesterday, if it goes the distance, Charlo wins. If it's a knockout, it's Canelo. But I think, I don't know. I don't have Canelo by knockout because of what I'm saying. That Ryder fight kind of showed me that it just reminded me of Pacquiao. Once Pacquiao got into his 30s and was still a top guy, still had gas in the tank, but wasn't that dude getting Cotto and De La Hoya and Hatton out of there, just like Canelo. Still a lot of gas in the tank, still looking good, still top 10 pound for pound, but not that cat that got Saunders and Plant and out of there, and got him out of there. Yeah. So, and then number 2, what the fuck is Fury doing? I like Fury too. Fury's the best heavyweight in the world. Fury, after that third Wilder fight, which was as great a war as I've ever covered, that was like, I thank Wilder and Fury because I always wondered what it would be like to cover heavyweights in the 70s, and they gave me a taste of that October 21st, 2020, or October 9th, 2021. I'll never forget it. But I don't blame all Fury. I know we tend to blame Fury because of his antics. Look, man, Usyk's manager wanted that 50-50, brother. Matt's Adventures, Alex K, Usyk's manager, he wanted that 50-50. And the Saudis kept telling him, we got all this money, and they have had all this money, but up until 2 or 3 years ago, that Middle East Saudi money was always funny money. It was always big guarantees and paper, but they could never seem to have anything follow through. And until they got Joshua and Hearn out there with Ruiz, and they made some things happen. But the Saudis were guaranteeing a lot of money, and then they say, okay, money's off the table. No money for summer or spring. Got to make it happen in the winter. And the Saudis literally have the whole heavyweight division waiting on their hands for that winter money, that supposed winter windfall for Joshua, for Usyk, for Wilder, and for Fury, for the big four. So Alex K, he wanted that 50-50. And Usyk doesn't deserve 50-50 with Fury. That was on Usyk's team a little bit too. We know Fury moves goalposts. He says things, says one thing, does another. But one thing I know about Tyson Fury through those 3 fights with Deontay Wilder is that he's a great fighter. And I think he would beat Usyk. So I need a little bit more convincing that Tyson Fury is ducking Alexander Usyk, who I think he beats. And for you Usyk fans, or not even Usyk fans, for people who think Fury will lose that fight, hey, don't forget about Steve Cunningham. He was a cruiserweight that dropped Tyson Fury. So this cruiserweight could give him the same problem. Tyson Fury said it himself. Little guys give him more problems than big guys because they're boxers. But I still think Fury would beat him. Good big man beats a good smaller man. And so I blame Fury and Usyk for that fight not falling through, because then the Saudi money's off the table, and then Fury's talking about 70-30. Of course, Usyk's not going to accept 30, but then Fury's not going to accept 50-50 because Usyk doesn't deserve 50-50. Fury is a bigger star. He's been in bigger fights. I know he fought Joshua. I know he was undisputed at cruiserweight, but Fury beat the best puncher in heavyweight in the last 20 years in heavyweight history. He knocked out in America the best American heavyweight of the last 20 years. And then he not Joshua, he put an end to the Klitschko era. Thank God. That was like the worst era ever. Vlad Klitschko was good and nobody else was. It was terrible. It was terrible. And then Fury, Wilder, and Joshua came and kind of saved the division. And it actually saved the division. So I'm not as hard on Fury. And then number 3, Wilder is going to destroy Ruiz. That's if they fight. And speaking of 50-50, okay, Deontay, maybe you don't have to give him 50-50, but close to it. I mean, come on, Deontay. You defended the title 10 times. He never even defended his titles once. He lost it in the rematch. But he had 3 belts. You had 1. You were never lineal. He was never lineal, but he had 3 belts and you had 1. He knocked out Joshua at Madison Square Garden. He's got the biggest win between the two of you. KO over Joshua. Maybe he does deserve 50-50 a lot more than Wilder thinks so. I mean, he brings a sizable Mexican fan base. Neither one of them, on their own, have killed pay-per-view. Wilder Helenius didn't smash box office. Ruiz against Arreola and Ruiz against King Kong Ortiz didn't smash box office. You guys are both former heavyweight champions. You both need each other to really make a real pay-per-view. Maybe Deontay should consider giving him 50-50 or something close to it. If it's that or no fight, I lean more towards 50-50 than I do 70-30. He does, or else no fight. And I think Wilder would beat Ruiz as well too. Ruiz, his best chance at winning that fight is be fighting the Mike Tyson style. Getting underneath, upper body movement, Canelo, Mike Tyson, getting underneath and coming up with the hook. And when he's tried to do that against King Kong Ortiz and Arreola, he's gotten hurt and dropped in his last couple fights. Then he reconsiders it, uses his hand speed advantage against the 2 older guys, Arreola and Ortiz, stays on the outside with his speed and wound up beating them that way. Instead of hands up like he did against Joshua in the first fight, side to side, hands up, coming in with a hook. He would need to fight that way against Wilder, but when he's tried to fight that way lately, he's been getting caught, dropped, and hurt, and then he reverts back to boxing on the outside, and he can't do that with Wilder. He could do that with the old guys, Areola and Ortiz. He tries to box on the outside with Wilder, he's going to get hurt. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think Wilder would beat Ruiz, but Wilder you might be being a little too proud in negotiations. You might have to give Andy more than you've been giving him because he's probably going to lose the fight. So pay the man. And then number 4, Joshua's going to come back to being the bruiser August 12th. I don't know if he's going to be the bruiser, but I am expecting another step forward in his development with Derek James. And I expect him to have a better jab under Derek James, better lead hand control, and a little bit better catching and shooting. Joshua, I think after the Klitschko fight, he went and talked to Floyd at the gym, and I think deep down Joshua wishes he had a lot more sauce. He doesn't want to just keep hands up, fundamentally sound. He wanted, not past tense, to have some shoulder roll, he wanted to be able to drop the lead hand and be a little slick, a little more finesse. And he's had to find out the hard way, you're not going to be heavyweight champion with that. That's not the gifts God gave you. That doesn't suit your arsenal. This is a better fit with Derek James, fundamentally sound, hands high, and looking to beat guys, letting the fundamentals work for you to set up your power. And I saw him with James in that first fight against Franklin, catching and shooting better, keeping his hands up better, and using his jab better. And I expect him to keep taking a step forward in that, and I expect him to beat Dillian White. But Matt's Adventures, I don't quite expect him to return to being the bruiser. I think he'll be more willing to show spurts of that bruiser. But I think Derek James is going to be having him fighting more behind his jab, and just that Derek James style that is really, because Jermell Charlo has some Ronnie Shields in him, and lately even some Joanne Guzman in him. Frank Martin had his style before he got to Derek James. The real Derek James style is Errol Spence. And you're going to see a more Errol Spence-like Anthony Joshua taking steps forward. So, Boxing Spot said I liked him with Robert Garcia. I thought Robert Garcia made some improvements, got him to bend his knees more, got him to hit the body more, hurt Usyk to the body a couple times in the second fight, and he got Joshua to bend his knees a little bit more. But James is probably an even better fit than Robert Garcia, too. So, what's up, Marvelous Irv? What's up, Bostons? Let me shout out some people in the chat, man. What's up, Marvelous Irv? Love you guys, man. Bostons. I was looking forward to the Ortiz fight, too, man. Malcolm X Box says Ruiz does not deserve 50 cent. Probably not 50 cent, 50%. Doesn't deserve 50%. Probably not quite. But if Wilder's he deserves more than 50% than he does 30. And hey, we know Mexican fans love boxing, man. They'll buy the pay-per-view. So if you want to get his ass in the ring and you want those Mexican fans to buy the pay-per-view, the man's got to get paid. And you're the favorite. Ain't no man in his right mind want to get in the ring with that right hand of Wilder unless they're being handsomely compensated. This could be the end. So. And again, they're both former champions. Ruiz actually holds the best win between the two of them, knocking out Joshua. That was supposed to be Wilder's scalp, and the business didn't allow it to happen. So maybe he doesn't quite deserve 50%, but get it? Maybe 45, maybe 40, maybe 45, maybe 45. So look, Wilder. Ruiz is the most attractive fight. You'll probably beat him. It'll do good on pay-per-view. Ruiz is still a credible top 5-ish heavyweight. If you want to knock him out with a right hand, give him 45%. That's how I look at it. 65-35 Wilder at best. But where are we getting this from? When they're both on pay-per-view, Wilder and Fury needed each other, okay? Take Fury away from Wilder, and he's fighting Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin in half-empty arenas in Las Vegas. Put Wilder up against Hellenius, he's selling 70,000 pay-per-views as opposed to 700,000 pay-per-views against Fury. So, same thing with Wilder and Ruiz. I don't see either guy being some big... I bet you it's quite comparable, the numbers they did. Wilder probably definitely had a better gate at Barclays than Ruiz did at Staples Center versus King Kong. Probably did a little bit better at pay-per-view too, but not that much better. So give the man something in the 40s, and let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I want a pay-per-view to call round by round, or fuck, I might probably, if it's in LA or Vegas or Texas, I'll be there ringside. If it's in New York, I'll hang out with the chat and do a live round by round from here. I want to see the fight. Just give him 40 something, Wilder, and then hit him with the right hand. You know, if that's what it takes. So Ruiz would be Wilder's best win, says Chris Itowande. Might be right. Charles N with the 58. There you go, Charles N. That's why I love Charles N. Shout out, Charles. Good to see you in the chat, brother. Marvelous Irv saying 60-40 minimum. See, my guys, Irv and Charles N, we're usually on the same wavelength. You guys get what I'm getting at, so give them 40-something. You still got the ego. You still got the bigger piece of the check. You're still the A side. It's still Wilder, Ruiz. But Deontay, and I'm saying, like, Ruiz could still win that fight. I'm not being biased here, but Deontay, if you feel, you know what's going to happen. If that 6'2" guy gets in the ring with you, you know what's going to happen to the roly-poly. So then pay him, okay? That would be my, you know, joking around message to Wilder, is you know what's going to happen, so pay him. But because outside of Ruiz, what else is there? Frank Sanchez is a tough style. He's going to box. You know, you're looking at like another Luis Ortiz type of fight. And Sanchez hasn't accomplished nothing like Ruiz. Ruiz, former heavyweight champion. You know, Joshua's tied up in August. You're not going to fight Fury a fourth time next. Usyk is tied up. Usyk's fighting Daniel Dubois now. So everyone else is tied up. Fight Ruiz. If you fight Ruiz, that's the most anticipated fight at heavyweight on the calendar. You would have all the shine. So Marvelous Irv, he wants payday. Of course, Marvelous. Freddie Montana has said a few times Wilder did win the first fight. He was robbed. I don't think he was robbed, but I would have been fine with Wilder getting the decision in that first fight. I think Fury did a whole lot of making him. Fury kind of reminded me of Pernell Whitaker in that fight with Oscar De La Hoya, where he was making him miss and making him look silly, but wasn't making him pay a whole lot. And at the end of the round, even though he missed 90% of his punches, if he was backing you up and he was out hustling you, throwing more punches, and you were making him miss a lot and making a lot of faces, that round probably still got away from you. And I think Fury had a lot of rounds like that in that first fight, where people scored him rounds because he'd make Wilder miss by a mile and stick his tongue out at him. But I still tend to give the round to the guy who swung hard and missed and was trying to make the fight if the other guy didn't make him pay for anything. And judges historically tend to score that too. But so I think Wilder had, with 2 knockdowns and with Fury making him miss a lot but not making him pay a lot, Wilder had his argument to win that first fight. I think a draw was a solid verdict at the end of the day. I don't think it was a robbery for either fighter. And then fight number 2, Fury comes in the best he's ever come in. Wilder came in like shit for whatever reasons. His legs were gone by the end of the first round, and Fury ran him over. And then third fight, as far as controversies go, you know, Fury was the better man, won one of the greatest heavyweight fights in boxing history. But if you're a Wilder fan, or even if you're not, that second knockdown in round 4 was about 15 seconds as opposed to 10 seconds for Fury to get up. But it is what it is. And Fury comes out the better man. So yeah. Not the first time we've had to talk about Wilder Fury here. But so let me who said that? Malcolm X Box said 50s, 40s is better for sure. Much love, Sean Z. It was hilarious seeing the clip of you at the South Park concert. Damn, you saw that, brother? Let's take a look at that clip. Let's take a look. For all the boxing talk we've had, this might be the most important thing of the day. Hold on. Here we go. Chat, as we all know, 4th of July was recently. And your boy at South Park's 25th anniversary, shout out to Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the makers of South Park, truly an inspiration. After 25 years of South Park, last August, your boy was there front and center. America, fuck yeah. Check it out.
You know that South Park could only happen in America, right?
True statement.
Fuck yeah! Oh, Starbucks! Fuck yeah!
That's me right there, chat. That's me right there saying fuck yeah for America. And my wife right there. One more time, chat, as I indulge. There's my wife right there. Being a classy gal. One more time, chat. One more time.
It only happen in America, right? Fuck yeah!
Nobody was robbed, natural. I said wasn't robbed.
Disney World! Porno! You know that South Park.
Fuck yeah. So yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. Not really boxing related, but just kind of awesome. South Park, best show ever. So I'm just happy the chat's laughing at it. Broom Oscar. Broom Oscar, are you coming from Japan, brother? Just trying to maybe gauge that last name, Oska. And not me, natural. I always get confused if someone's talking to me or to someone else in the chat. Natural, carry on, brother. Montana. Oh, okay. Natural and Montana having it out. So, but Broom Oscar asking me, Fulton versus Inoue. Will you be doing a live round by round for that fight, Sean? To answer your question, I'm gonna answer that question just like South Park did. Hold on. Will I be doing a round by round for Fulton and Inoue? Here's your answer. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Yep. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I'll be doing a round by round for Fulton and Inoue. You guys better be here too. I can't wait to call that fight. Can't wait to call that fight. I'm picking Inoue, but I watched a lot of tape, and I'll continue to watch tape between now and July 25th. But watching a lot of tape, and I got Inoue in a competitive decision. There's going to be spots in that fight where he's getting his ears boxed off by Fulton. Fulton is an excellent fighter. Excellent fighter. I really like Stephen Fulton, but I'm picking Inoue. One thing I noticed Inoue does, though, is, and Pacquiao would do this sometimes, and Marquez picked up on it in the fourth fight, where in the first fight with Pacquiao and Marquez, they're so explosive, Inoue and Pacquiao. Sometimes they gather their feet. They're bouncing, and more so Pacquiao would bounce. Inoue has some life in his feet, too, but not like Pacquiao. And they set that feet for a second, and then boom, they come down the pipe with the 1-2. And it's such even if you anticipate it, it comes down the pipe so fast, so sharp, so explosive that you go down. It lands anyways, even if you're trying to brace yourself. But Marquez, by the fourth fight with Pacquiao, picked up on that picked up on that set before he let it go down the pipe. And in the first fight, all three times Pacquiao used that same feint before he'd spring into action, and all three times Marquez couldn't get a beat on it and went down in the first fight. By fight number 4, when he saw that feint, boom, he let the right hand go, knocked out Pacquiao, and that's what always lets you know it wasn't some lucky shot by Marquez. It was a feint and a move he had scouted for Pacquiao for 41 rounds before he finally delivered the shot that he needed to end it. And Inoue, now he's orthodox. He's not like Pacquiao. Inoue, when sometimes, go back and watch some of his 1-2s that he drops guys on, he does the same thing. He'll kind of spring into action and then let it go. Gets his feet set underneath him, really gets him set underneath him, and then he delivers it. And what I'm noticing when he does that move, when he throws that 1-2 off that move, the chin comes up on the 1. On the jab. He'll come in, set, and then when he lets that jab go and looks to explode, when the jab comes, though, he picks his chin up as he does it. And I'm wondering if Fulton could get a beat on that and start to check him with the hook, step off. Check him with the hook, step off. Make him reset. Even though Fulton's not a puncher, he's the biggest guy he's ever fought and the best fighter he's ever fought. With that chin up on the 1, maybe after a while, Fulton has the speed and the timing and the anticipation to get a beat on that 1 before the 1 get a beat on that 1 when the chin comes up, and like Marquez got a beat on it. Now the problem is, even with all the IQ Marquez had, it took 30 plus rounds to get a beat on it because the guy is just so fucking fast and so good, and Inoue has that dimension to him. But maybe Fulton, when he could pick up on that telegraph and begin to counterpunch and check him with the hook. Make him reset so that every time he's about to explode with the power shot after the one and that chin comes up, he gets checked and he has to reset. And Fulton can outbox him and win the fight doing things like that. I think Fulton's capable of potentially doing that, and that's why I won't be that surprised if Fulton boxes his ears off. But I still think there's a reason why it took Marquez 40 rounds to get a beat on moves like that, and it's because it's different. It's one thing to see it and then to execute against it when it's so good. Kind of, that like in the NFL sometimes, or in other sports, like. LeBron is going to take it to the hoop 10 plus times in his prime. You're still not going to be able to stop it. Tom Brady is going to check down 5 yards, throw it in the flat to the receiver, hit his little bullshit 5, and you can't stop it. So Inoue has a little bit of that. You're watching on tape, oh, he's aggressive. Oh, he's going to walk into X, Y, and Z. And then you get in there, and it's like, damn. So, yeah, just a little something on that. Stutter, step, feint, good night, Manny. Exactly, David Spotty. Good to see you, David Spotty. David Spotty saying cool boy. Yep, all day. So, yeah. Yeah. We shall see. Oh, okay, so Blind Faith, thank you for the super chat, brother. Let me get to that. Blind Faith saying 140 pounds is the deepest division. Who comes out on top, Sean? Good question. And, I would rank, like, let's pretend T.O.'s not retired because he's long term he's not. Let's pretend T.O. didn't vacate that WBO belt. I wish he didn't. If I were to rate the title holders at 140, it would go Teofimo 1, Prograis 2, Rolly 3, Matias 4. And I know most people would have Matias ahead of Rolly, but I think Matias has no defense. And I think even though the knockouts look gaudy, and certainly he could punch, he's an accumulation puncher. Rolly's more of a one-punch, explosive puncher. And I think Matias, he would either break Rolly down, right? Break him down, and take his heart, or he would inevitably get caught with something in between his relentless punching style. And I think Rolly is a little underrated athletically. I think people look at how wild he is, and he's a puncher, and people think like he's slow when he's not. He's a little deceptively fast and has some explosiveness to him. You don't stay in control against Tank Davis for 4 or 5 rounds like he was. I mean, Rolly did better than Ryan, and no one would question Ryan's hand speed. So yeah, that's how I'd have it. But if Haney were to move up tomorrow, I'd probably favor him over the field, even T.O., because styles make fights, and T.O. does worse against boxers than he does against come-forward fighters who try to engage and try to come and get you, like Taylor, like Lomachenko. He's better at being the counterpuncher than he is fighting counterpunchers. So, but then there's still the wild card of Tank Davis could go up to 40. Gary Antoine Russell, I haven't seen him in a minute, but I still like him. But I feel like at 140... the fight to make it 140 is Devin and T.O. Because the real fight to make would be Devin and Tank. But if Devin can't make lightweight at 100% anymore, then what's the point? What's the point? All that business is great, but we want to see who's the best. We don't want any doubts left after 12 rounds or less. And Devin, there would be some questions if he got knocked out by Tank. I think he needs to move up to 140. It's kind of some of the same stuff with Ryan, and fuck all that. If that's the case, then forget the fight for now. It can happen at 140 when it's time. So I like Devin and T.O. at 140 because Devin gets to move up to 140 pounds and be comfortable, be 100%. And T.O. is the lineal champ. They've had great history together. They've talked a lot. It's a fight that will sell. It won't sell like a Tank Davis Devin Haney fight, but it'll sell. It'll sell well and sell out an arena in Vegas, and it'll be a great promotion, a great match of contrasting styles. I would pick Haney, but Lopez could definitely pull it off if he makes a few adjustments, picks his hands up a little bit, and instead of playing counterpuncher, understands his role in this fight, that he has to be the aggressor, make those adjustments in the game plan, and maybe you could come out on top. But I would favor Haney. So that's how I look at 140 right now. Am I going to interview Saul in camp? Asked my man Marvelous. Yeah, Canelo, as soon as he has his media day, I'll go down to San Diego like I have for his last couple fights, shoot some questions his way. Canelo's Canelo's pretty engaging these days. You know, even if you ask him something he doesn't like, he'll come back and give you some good stuff. So I'll definitely be in Canelo's camp soon once he gives us a media day. Angry Casual Fan says Haney's style is unwatchable. Continuing to live up to your name, the Angry Casual Fan. It's a funny bit. It really does remind me of the Angry Video Game Nerd. You can't say that, Angry Casual, because the Jorge Linares fight was very entertaining, and the second Kambosos fight was entertaining, and Haney-Lomachenko was one of the best fights of the year. That was an excellent high-speed chess match, and Haney fought aggressively for much of that fight, taking the fight to Lomachenko, throwing hard right hands to the body. So as much as I do love you, Angry Casual Fan, I think you're being a little rough on Haney there. Not all his fights have been like the Gamboa fight and the first Kambosos fight. The second Kambosos fight was good. Linares' fight was good. The way he knocked out Antonio Moran was nasty. And then most recently, the Lomachenko fight was an excellent fight. So Haney's not a boring fighter. You know. Rudy Tupapa said, Canelo be against you. Be an asshole, Sean. Nah, I'll ask him what's important. So, Aquabud said, yo, I'm knocking out everyone with Wilder on the new Undisputed update. Have you tried the new update yet? I have tried it. I've been playing some matches with Riddick Bowe. Actually, it might be time to close the show with some Undisputed. Let me get Undisputed ready. Haney hugs every 20 seconds. Come on, Sean. Nah, come on, man. He's putting it. Haney's an excellent boxer, bro. He ain't. I already named you 3 good fights, brother. He's been in some good fights. Haney's fun to watch. He's active. He doesn't. He throws a good amount of punches per round. Does Haney? The only boring fight he's only had two boring fights to me. Santiago on the undercard of Jake Paul or Logan Paul and KSI, and the Gamboa fight. That was very boring. But he hurt his hand in camp for that fight, but it was boring. You know, guys have hurt their hands and still found a way to. But beyond that, you know, I think you're giving him a bad. I think it's just unfair to say. Now, I wouldn't put him on Jim Lampley's old Gotti list, but I don't think he's boring at all. I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that because I've interviewed Haney since he was a teenager, and if I didn't know Devin, he would be a fighter I enjoy watching. No bullshit. Now, my 2, I don't let this affect my coverage. Do the best I can anyways. But my 2 favorite fighters to watch are probably Boots and Benavidez. And I explained that earlier. They're 2 guys I want to see get opportunities. They're 2 guys who have that rare combination of physical talent and wanting to put on a show. Now, that can get you hurt. Because just wanting to get the win by any means necessary is, you know, the mentality of many of the greatest fighters. But some of the great fighters I love too, like Eric Morales, it wasn't just about being elite. It was about being exciting too. And Boots and Benavidez both have those dimensions to them. They both like to be, not just win, but look good doing it and make it, and preferably win by knockout. And so that brings, you get the best of both worlds. You get action and skill in their fights. So, not in that Shukajan fight though. That sucked. Tank is much more exciting. Well, Tank gets knockouts, you know. Tank is more but you know what? You know what? To be fair, though, talking about Tank is much more exciting than Haney. Tank's fights can be dull for long stretches of time until now. Lately, even in those long stretches, it's tense because you're like, when's the knockout coming? When's something happening? Like in the Rolly fight, there was a lot of lulls in action. Tank hardly did anything until he knocked him out with the straight left hand that he walked him into. So, to be fair, outside of the Leo Santa Cruz fight, Tank will have literally multiple rounds in his fights where he doesn't do anything. And then inevitably makes the adjustments and knocks the guy out. So, yeah, I mean, Tank is more exciting because knockouts are exciting. But his fights have lulls too. Haney is technically a more active fighter than Tank. He throws more punches per round. So, and there's the copyright claim. Oh, shit, what happened? Hold up, chat. Where's the copyright claim? What did we get it on, BT? My bad. Because I don't hear the soundtrack playing for Undisputed or anything. Was it off the Showtime? Damn, now I feel bad, BT. Just let me know in the chat what it was off of, because I believe it's not undisputed, because I don't hear any soundtrack going. That kind of got me bummed out. Here we go. Let's get some Riddick Bowe in though, guys. Tank is an aggressive counterpuncher who uses power. He's not a guy with a long reach and an active jab. Yeah, he doesn't need... But that could cost him. I remember Derek Harmon. Now, of course, you know, Derek Harmon works for Top Rank. He's going to favor the Top Rank guys, Haney and Stevenson, over Tank. But one thing, Derek Harmon, the former light heavyweight, works with Bob Arum, fought Roy Jones. He told me that Tank waits too much to beat guys like Haney and Stevenson. And then, you know, there could be a little fool's gold there. Like, you're knocking out guys like Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia who are coming to you, who aren't tough to hit boxers like Devin and Shakur. So, you know, will you be able to just throw a minimum amount of punches and with your timing and accuracy and smarts inevitably put a couple bombs on Haney and Stevenson to knock them out? Or will the fight get away from you with their superior work rates? They have better jabs than he does. You know, we really don't know until they fight. But damn, this guy's got an easy record, so we should be able to look good against him.
And he'll face the bronze bomber, 6'7" tall, with that massive 83-inch reach. There is no joke about this. Someone is going to get hurt, the other is going to get embarrassed. Let's make sure they measure up well.
All right, chat. Let's get busy.
Expectations are sky high for this fight. Will it live up to the hype? We're about to find out. They say you got to talk the talk, now you got to walk the walk. The crowd are here. Too many people have an opinion. Too many people are going to tell.
Oh, this guy's gonna quit. I can feel it.
You got to get your act together. Here we go for round one.
Oh no, he's not. Let's go, chat. We gotta fight. I'm Riddick Big Daddy Bowe. Oh. Let him shoot, chat. Let him shoot off. He's hit me with a couple hooks early. We're going to counter him a little bit. Let him shoot. Oh, man. He's trying to take our head off, chat. That's all right. He's going to get countered with something nasty. They gave Riddick Bowe the best uppercut in the game. They gave Riddick Bowe some beautiful combination punching in this game. Ah, wait. I'm just trying to catch and shoot a little bit. Catch and shoot a big counter. Oh, good right hand by Wilder. Come on, Bo. Let's get busy. He's staying where we want him to stay. This is Riddick Bowe's wheelhouse. Phone booth. There we go. Starting to put the jab on him a little bit. Boom! Countered with the hook. Touch the body. Ugly first round, but we got that round. How am I undefeated? I just got 16-0 and then stop playing ranked. Throw the uppercut, Freddie Montana. I will. That's Bo's best shot. You'll see. I'm gonna stay on the inside and get some combos going in a minute. Just letting them waste a little bit of shots. We like to counter. He's hitting me with everything, though. Damn, come on, Bo. Let's get our head off the line a little bit. Bo can't slip shit. Damn, we can't slip shit, chat. What was that phantom punch we just got hurt by, chat? What just happened? What just happened, chat? Chat, we just got hit by this fucking game sometimes, man. This keeps I got hurt by a phantom punch, chat. I don't know what happened there. We're playing terrible to start. We're gonna whoop his ass though. I don't know what the hell is going on though. I got hurt off a phantom punch. Alright, time to sharpen up. Time to sharpen up, chat. Damn, Bo can't slip shit or catch shit. There we go. Let me put a little movement. There we go. There we go. Bo just can't do that catch and shoot good shit that good, so I started giving him a little angle with the movement. Alright, we got him. We got him. Yeah, no punch thrown. Got hurt off nothing. Okay, so, no other said, be for real, Sean. What was the most boring fight you ever saw? And 2, who is the most boring and unpleasant fighter that I've seen? Ooh. Karan Shukajan was pretty bad earlier against Jaron Ennis this year in January. Murad Hakar against Bernard Hopkins. The 2 worst fights off the top, three fights come to mind when I think of the worst fights I've ever seen. Rances Barthélemy against Robert Easter, Chris Bird versus Davario Williamson, and Seth Mitchell's rematch with Jonathan Banks. All Hall of Fame terrible fights, as bad as it goes. All right, chat, let's take care of business now. Let me box this man a little bit. There we go. Now we're starting to catch. Hold up. Boom. Come on. Give me that. Ah. Come on. Give me that counter. Oh my lord. It's not pretty, but we'll pull this bitch out. Oh shit. Maybe it's stingy with the counter openings. There we go, nice jab to the body. Another jab. I gotta use Bo's jab more, chat. I use that jab more. Hurt him to the body. There we go. Worst fight ever is Huey Fury versus anybody. He could definitely be in a stinker. Watch his fight with Rajan Kavanajo. Some guy. It's terrible. Move right and left, throw a left hand to the body. All right, I will. I got it. I got it, chat. We're going to use the jab more. There we go. 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 Oh, but all it takes is one right hand by Wilder. Oh, and I go down off the straight right hand. This motherfucker and his glitchy bullshit earlier in the fight. All right, chat. This is terrible. Freddie Montana, I was working the body, and all Wilder needed was one. Oh, shit. All right, chat. Adversity. Adversity, chat. Let me recover my bearings for a second here. Let me recover here. Straight right hand counter. Oh! Damn, I gotta get him off of me. Another one. Terrible, chat. Terrible. The bomb squad. Charles N. I gotta find a way, brother. I got it, chat. Chat, that knockdown earlier, though, got me, man. Like, he got a phantom knockdown. He didn't even land a punch, and I was in stun mode. No excuses, though. I gotta find a way through this shit. We're not losing to this bum. Boom. Oh, again. I'm not losing to this guy.
No doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. He can't afford to make one single minor mistake. I've seen certain fighters who have just their power alone. Forget tactics.
Got him. Gosh, come on, Bo. Slip. Give me that. There we go. Ah, reaching with that uppercut. There it is. There it is. There it is. But I can't hurt the man. Come on now. Come on now. I know Bo wasn't a big puncher, but come on now. Got him. Ah. We had a good round. We had a good round. We did a little better that one, guys. How do I feel about Kid Austin this weekend? I like Kid Austin. I really like his talent. Very explosive athlete. Just not as fundamentally sound yet as some of the other super talented lightweights. But a great athlete. I'm looking forward to seeing him tonight. He's got a lot of talent. Or Saturday night. We got to win this fight, chat. Good jab, good jab, good jab by him. Got him with the hook. That left hook is starting to catch him a lot, though. Ah, pulling straight back. He got me with the straight right hand. Ah, got a little crazy with the hook that time. Be careful. Gotta keep it smart. Got him. Got him twice. Come on. We got to hurt him with one, though. Uppercut. Catching me with those little right hands on the outside. Freddie Montana said I'm not listening to him. All right. Stop moving closer to the screen. Turn him left and keep him moving. All right, I got you. I'll turn him a little bit more left. We're still going to get him, chat. Time to take over in the second half of the fight. There we go. There we go. Oh, I'm bleeding. Wilder's a monster now in this update. Oh, what the hell? Come on. How'd they not give me my counter there and then they gave him two of them? Like, all right, let me get to work, man. We are losing this fight. Give me something, man. I countered him with that quick uppercut. Give me one. Got him, finally. Down goes Wilder. Thank you. Finally, one of those counters got him, guys. Marco Polo said you don't know how to fight. Well, Marco Polo, that was for you, baby. Left hook knockdown. Woo, we got that. We got that, chat. There we go. Elaine Purple Heart says, Sean, do some in real life bag work. I mean, if people want to see that, sure. But I don't think anyone wants to. You do. That's nice of you. All right, come on, chat. Let's get out of there. Get out of there, Bo. And catch something, man. His guard sucks in this game. You can't catch shit. Damn it. Wow, they're so strong. Come on, chat. There it is. Ah, I want my counters, but Bo can't counter very good in this game. Come on, we're hitting him with good counters. Let's hurt him again. Oh, we exchanged. That's not smart. Oh, what? Another phantom fucking punch, chat. Another phantom fucking punch, chat. Like, bro, come on. This ain't cool, man. Chat, we're gonna lose on 2 phantom fucking knockdowns, man. Oh, come on, bro. 2 phantom knockdowns. What in the hell just happened? Guys, that's 2 knockdowns off a punch that didn't exist. I just was standing there and all of a sudden got hurt twice. What the fuck? Okay, I lost, I guess. What in the world just happened? His stamina was shot at 38%. He had no stamina left. I was hurt because of 2 knockdowns. What in the world? This, hey, Steel City, people making the game, if you're watching, you have some problems. You have some problems with this game, my friends. What in the world? I don't even really want to count that against myself, guys. Because that's 2 knockdowns with no punches being landed to set them up. What in the world? Ah, that hurt. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I need to see this for myself again, chat. Phantom Bomb Squad, indeed. Hold on. We gotta see this again. Yeah, I'm countering him. Countering him with some good shots. And then right here. And then I'm hurt. Off something. What? I'm trying to slow-mo it now. I'm trying to find out what the hell happened here. Hold up. Countering the fuck out of him. Countering him, countering him. Countering him. Countering him. Hitting him with everything. And then, hold up. And then there, I just get, nothing even landed. Damn. Damn. That one hurt, chat. That one hurt. It's an early access game. Well, I took the L today, chat. Chat, do I end on an L, or do you guys want me to maybe to avenge this with one more match? I don't know, man. I'm feeling kind of sad right now, and I wanna get on the phone with my editor and find out what the hell we got a copyright for today. I'm feeling kind of bummed out about that too. Definitely a glitch, Charles N. So rematch him now. I would love to rematch him, but I don't think I could get him. I don't think I could get him. I would get somebody else. Can't go out like that? Yeah, you're right. I can't go out like that. All right, all right. Let's avenge Riddick Bowe. Get one in. What's up, Raimundo Rendon Jr.? Why did Vergil's fight get honest? Or why did Meech Dog said, to be honest, he caught you with the left hook? Meech Dog, did you see the first knockdown? It was literally nothing thrown, nothing at all. I didn't see him land a left hook even that time. I just saw him walking through shots like a tank, and then me getting hurt on a phantom punch. But take the L and go train, Elaine Purple Heart. Let's see. If we get a match with Bo in the next minute, we'll take it. I don't like leaving on an L like that. Bo, though, his defense is kind of bad in this game. What did they give him? Block is like in the low 80s. Yeah, his block is pretty trash. So Canelo versus Wilder. First was a glitch, Meech Dog, but you think he got me with the left hook on the third one? Eline, Purple Heart, I would do some bag work if I thought more than 5 people wanted to see it. I would, but
We've got high hopes for this contest with these two fighters. Should be a really good match.
the fact we got a copyright kind of is fucking with my head right now too. I want to figure out what happened there. All right, Joe Frazier, let's get a dub. End this stream the right way, chat. All 130 still rocking with me. You guys are beautiful. Let me just make up for it, Meech Dog. Let's go. I'm mad. I'm mad, Joe. We can fight, Joe. All right, hold on. Let me be sharp. Oh, he tried to damn. No counter?
And it's worked out pretty well for him so far. A win is not just a win for some fighters. They need to feel the blood, the crunch. They need to get that win.
Joe trying to box me early. Maybe I'm being too aggressive. There we go. Clean 1-2.
So I've got to respect both of them more than that.
Is he ready to quit? Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Let's keep my distance behind my... Oh, all right. Got him.
It's okay to be aggressive now. Very close round with 10 seconds to go.
Didn't need to hook with him there. Oh, good step in counter by him. We box clean that round though. We box clean that round.
I promise you, all 3 judges here are going to give that round to... What do we expect to see here in round 2?
We got this. Oh, he's trying to leap up with that left hook, man.
You're not going to see a lot of finesse and skills from this guy. He wants to bury his forehead.
There we go. Sharp shooting.
You're going to swarm on your case. You know you've got to fight. You've got to hold. You've got to tie him off. You're going to lean on him when he come in until the referee makes you break up. But keep your hands high because they will keep punching till the referee says stop.
Nope. Boom. Step back. Ooh. Ooh, shit. Ooh, shit. Swinging for the fences. Oh, hold on. Let's give him a little distance. Damn. Get back. Good slip. Good slip. Let me touch that body. Ah. Try to touch that uppercut in there. Ooh. Got a little hook happy. Came back. Ooh, good shot. Touch the body. Touched it a little too much. Didn't need to take the receipt. There we go. Clean.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go.
We take those rounds. Boxing analyst says battle of the bums. Damn, you don't gotta do me like that. I've beaten some guys with great records, and then we lose by phantom knockout to a guy with more losses than wins. Work the body, Freddie Montana. I will, but he's trying to keep it on the outside, man. Andre Rivers says Joe Frazier's about to stop you. No, sir. Not happening. That glitchy ass fight, last fight, was so annoying though.
This fighter's not shown us much defense at all. Both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference.
Joe Frazier not really fighting like Joe Frazier.
Jaw's first blood touch. That's what you've got to look at. It's your head. And you know you're in there with a bang. You've got to be on it. You've got to be confident. Punching for both these athletes. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. Can they figure out the combination to this thing? Oh, and they just got their bell wrong. Through the hook, didn't land.
There it is. There's that uppercut, Freddie.
There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far? How would you deal with an aggressive fighter?
Man, Joe, you're making the fight boring, bro. But if you're content to just stay on the outside against the taller man and lose this fight. It's kind of boring, but I'll take it. Straight right hand. I'm almost ready to go and make the fight. Rudy Tupapa, I would get killed by Charlie Zelenoff. What's up, that dude? All right, we're up 3-zip. Good combination. There we go. Starting to put them together. You don't want to fight no more, chat. You don't want to fight. What the? Chat. Meech, did you see that? Chat, did you see what the hell is going on? Do you guys see what the hell is going on with me today? We got cheaters in this game, man. What the hell was that? The man didn't even throw a punch. What the fuck? Man, what the fuck is going on, chat? Did you guys see what just happened? What is going on? Am I playing only glitchers or something? Like, what is going on? What is going on? Melvin, what is going on? We're just dominating him, and then I get hurt off of nothing. Like, what is going on, man? What is going on? What is going on? Did they hack Riddick Bowe? Like, what? Fuck this game right now. What kind of shit is that? Now I'm off my game, man. Yeah, what is going on? Yeah, Meech Dog, you seen it, right? I'm just happy you didn't leave yet. So it's like, brother, you see what the hell's going on? Charles N. What is going on? I'm gonna have to win it. I don't know. You can't beat Phantom Punches. I'm like shook. And then I got robbed the other night. Who remembers that, chat? I got robbed at the end of the night with Canelo Jacobs. I dropped the dude twice. And he got the draw. Come on now, chat. You see these counters, they don't give me nothing. Trying to sit on one there. Look at these counters, chat. Come on. Freddie Montana, let's talk boxing now. What happened to Vergil? The Rambo mylosis again, man. Why is that bell ringing? Boom. 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 Boom again. Give me something. Ah. Got greedy. There we go, short uppercut. Boom. Beautiful. Counter with the hook. There we go. Come on. I'm pissed, chat. I want some get back. That's why we're just taking the fight to George. Let's go. Does he maybe want to rather contest at 154? Since he's going to have to move up to 154, Vergil. Look at this bullshit, chat. They gave Frazier that round. How did they give Frazier... Chat, am I tripping? Seriously, chat, am I tripping? Or how in the world did Joe Frazier win that round? I feel like he literally just backed away the whole round and we countered him and just hit him all round long. And he did nothing. And he won the round. It's crazy. I think they call it a desync. Like, me and him might be playing 2 different matches right now. That's why he's landing shots that I don't even see happening on my connection. But this shit has just been a nightmare today. Like, right now, I think we're desyncing. I don't think he was really just standing there taking punches. I think his connection has one thing going on and mine has another. Nasty counter, but nothing. They hit me with like some sloppy shit and I'm hurt.
The halfway point of this round, and both of these fighters have had their moments. Still can go either way. Nice exchange here from both men.
I feel like I won that round, but knowing how they score my rounds, they probably just gave it to him. Let's go. Vergil got to move up. Yeah, he's going to have to go to 54. But Golden Boy is notorious for canceling fight week. I don't know. Let's go. My bad, chat. I'm just focused and want to end on a win. There we go. Come on. There we go. Come on, come on. You're hitting them with some nasty shit. Sean, you hit him with some good shots and nothing happens to him. I know. I think I play a lot of cheaters, man. Because I get hurt on phantom shots. I hit guys with the best counters you can hit them with. Now I get frustrated and I reach with a shot. He hit me with 2 disgusting counters right there. But, yeah. Let's go. Nasty counters. Ooh, good counter to the body by him.
You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. Catch and shoot. Very competitive round with 10 seconds left.
Counter. Got it. Got it. Let's just keep hitting him till he goes down, chat. Bam. Again. Man, he's running into that hook like full force. Nothing. My right hands just bounce off his head like nothing. No effect. Combos. I'm about to get hurt on a phantom punch, watch.
fighters can knock you out with a simple jab. They're that powerful.
Boom. I don't know how many clean it's going to take, but I'll keep hitting him with it.
Answer that jab. Figure out the combination to this thing.
I don't know what it's going to take.
This is for that jab. There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same. Oh, you know what? Sometimes when they're in the ring with the fights like that, you punch for well, you want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Dude, just fighting to survive almost. There you go.
Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one.
Let's go. Truthfully, this game isn't fluid at all, says Crisco713. I know, I've seen you in the chat asking for a new EA game too, a new Fight Night, but alright, we're ahead. At least they're scoring it somewhat correctly. I actually love this game, it's just sometimes I run into some BS that they gotta fix.
They're scoring, but they're not going to hurt anybody.
Counter uppercut.
This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
Oh, counter uppercut, let's go. I got countered with a hook.
They are the chosen few.
Ooh.
Don't let this fighter's speed fool you. There's some method to the madness. These are precision shots, and they're coming at lightning speed. Big shots from both these fighters.
Come on, Frazier. Running like a bitch with Joe Frazier all fucking night long.
That hook misses. I'd like to see more jabs.
I hope the judges give me credit for these punches. I feel like I don't ever get credit for just touching a guy up consistently through the round. Hook on the inside, come on. Like, what is this dude doing with Joe Frazier, man? Counter, counter. Alright, got a good counter hook in there. Counter. Let's go. Less than 100 people in the chat now. We're really just down to the hardcores. Thank you for rocking with me, chat. And I'm just being quiet because I just don't want any fuckery to happen like in the last fight again.
So far, it seems like aggression has been.
And by the end of the fight, you're going to see these close punch stats. And I feel like I've literally just walked him down all fight like this. I mean, he exchanged with me that time. But for the most part, I feel like I'm just walking him down and beating him up. I mean, as I say that, we're exchanging. But for the most part, just been walking him down and beating him up. And I know they're going to have the stats close and the rounds close. And I don't get it sometimes with this game. There I am, 4-punch combo, 5-punch. And it's like nothing. It's jab, land. Like nothing. It's like nothing sometimes for me. There's a counter uppercut, nothing. That's like 12 unanswered punches, chat, that I just hit him with. And you're not even going to see it in the punch stats for some reason.
You're a power puncher. You're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land.
Ooh, he's trying to take my head off with those hooks here and there, though.
This could be really intimidating, Tom. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, someone can take you out with a simple jab. It can be intimidating. It just depends on how confident you are as a fighter. I've
Just walked him down and beating him up all fight. That's all I've been doing, I feel like. But it's probably all close. All right, let's let him come to us for a second. Come on, bro. Look at these clowns online, man. Joe Frazier won't take a step forward. Straight right hand, does nothing. Yeah. He's trying to hope we go to the cards and they give him a gift. Because this game will do that to me. Guys will just run away from me. And then all of a sudden at the end of the fight, it'll say we landed the same punches when no. And then they get some gift. So that's what he's hoping happens here. He's not really trying to win this fight. His stamina is probably completely shot for the last 6 rounds. Now this is what happens too in the late rounds. I start to get frustrated because I know the cards are stupid and not giving me credit for my land consistent like that. Just my consistent land shots. Alright, let me try and close the show here instead of bitching. Probably losing this round because I fought frustrated. This dude trying to hope he gets a gift off the Phantom knockdown and everything. Oh, Lord. He's probably going to get it, too. Fuck this game. Come on, game. I'm piecing his ass up in those... I hit him with so much counters, and he didn't even get stunned once. This dude must have had a fucking cheat in. They're going to give it to him. Oh, they gave it to me. Cool, great. Damn. That was trash, though. I'll take the win, but... Alright, we got the win, but it was ugly. Barely got the... Look at this shit, chat. Barely got the win. And then punch that. So, let's take a look at how they score rounds sometimes. Hold on. Let's see if they did it here. No, they didn't do it this fight, but... Alright, we win. It was ugly, we win. To the winner's cam. Alright, chat. We just wanted to leave on a dub. I'll see you guys later. Thank you, Crisco. Thank you, Raymundo Rendon Jr., Edgar, Rudy Tupapa, everyone who stuck around. The last 80 bit of you, Isaac Bermudez. Thank you, everybody. Had some glitchy gameplay today, but we'll take it. We win the fight. In the other fight, I don't know what happened there, but everyone have a great rest of your Thursday, and check back in Saturday night for Boots Ennis versus Roiman Villa, the live round by round, and we'll check in on the Zone 2 and take a look at Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield. Everyone have a great rest of your day, and see you guys Saturday night. Peace.